Peace. Peace, everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay. I got a little different setup this week. All right. We trying some new things. Okay. Expanding the horizon a little bit with a new setup. Let me just check to see if I'm all good on my end. Y'all know what to do. The family's in the building. Put some nines in the chat. Put the number 9 in the chat if you guys could hear me okay. Let me know that I'm audible to you guys. Hopefully there is no problems. I see we got some family in the building already. 10 toes showing love. Salute everybody. Salute, salute. Put some nines in the chat if you guys could hear me all right. Hopefully I'm good to go. Hold on. Oh, we got a 9 from the King, Michael Ray. All right, let me scroll up to the top a little bit so I can shout everybody out. Salute and big love to Captain Doom in the building. He says, oh yeah, the first one in the building with some love. Thank you so much, Captain Doom, for joining. I appreciate you. Salute to the King Slim in the building. He says, the Queen SugarFreeMars in the chat. Blessings. All right, I see you, King. We got the richest one in the building. Always 10 toes on deck with your girl Sugar Free. I appreciate you, Rich. Happy Sunday. Lovely to see you. And of course, my lovely twin, the King, Daryl Anderson in the building. He says, salute to the beautiful queen, aka my Leo twin, Sugar Free. Salute to the rest of the kings and the queens in the chat. Big facts, King Daryl. Thank you so much for joining, twin. Always lovely to see you. Okay, I'm always happy when my twin is in the building. Salute to the King and the Coach Hudson. 10 toes on deck. Wonderful cook that you gave earlier, King, when I slid through into your live. Wonderful cook. And haters was lurking big time. Ain't that right, Coach? Crazy work. But they only come where the light is. So go figure, right? Salute to the King Vonnie in the building. Thank you, King Vonnie, for joining. I appreciate you. My beautiful, beautiful sister Cameron is in the building. Hey, beautiful sis. She says, blessings to my beautiful sis. Sending love and light to you and the chat family. Big, big love for my sister Cameron, always. Yes, indeed. We got the King Snoop with all his flags, all his fists up in the air, the way I like to see it, 10 toes. Salute to the King Snoop. Nice to see you. Hope everything is well with you guys. All right, we got the King Roll Tide, or as I call him, the Tide. Okay, because he is a wave all his own. Salute to the King Tide in the building. Lovely to see you. And of course, as always, the great Mike, as I like to call him. None greater than him. Okay, that's why I give him that name. Salute to the great Mike on deck in the building with the love for us this evening. Oh my goodness, we got some super chats up in here early. Hold up. A1 Henry is showing why he bears that name A1 with the wonderful super chat to the channel today. Thank you so much, A1 Henry. He says, salute Sugar Free Mars. Sac passe. Hold up. Do I have an IEC in the building? Hold up. Don't let me start. Okay? Because I love my damn fellow IECN in the building. You already know 10 toes, 20 toes, 30 toes on deck for IET in the building. Okay, don't get me hype up in here, y'all. Okay, you guys know I ride for Haiti all day. Salute to the King Freedom in the building. Salute. He says, yeah, salute to you. Oh my goodness, we got a super chat from the Glenn Mickens. Thank you so much for the contribution to the channel. It's definitely appreciated. All right. Okay, I see we got some 9s coming up in here. You guys could hear me well. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, we got some more love from the King Freedom's March on deck. Thank you so much, King Freedom. I appreciate the support. Salute to the King Forever Real, forever, ever, as I call him, my brother. Salute to the King Forever. Salute to the King Raul Garcia. He says, Queen Sugar Free. I'm here, King. Salute to you. We got the Macadocious Mac of the South, always showing love and grace to the channel and to your girl Sugar Free. I appreciate you, Mac. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, big, big love, you guys. Oh my goodness, what did Daryl say? He says, damn, bitch, 6 months since the queen been going live. Keep growing, right? Exactly. And you know what, twin? I feel more and more comfortable as I do it. I know 6 months is really not a long time at all, but you know, the weekly consistency for me has gotten me way less nervous because I was such a little pup let's say my first, month, 2 months doing it, I was such a baby girl. But, as I do it, of course, I get more and more comfortable. And of course, when I got, beautiful kings that inspire me, like BFTB, on deck, of course, I feel I'm always a student of the game and watching him, and also the likes of Champside and Drew and all the brothers and fellas, and that we love and support. I always have good teachers to watch, good people to give me inspiration and confidence to do what I do. So salute to the family in the building. I know BF was working on his setup, so I'm not sure if he's yet in the building because he was restarting a few things. But in the meantime, while he gets himself situated, I'll just begin around the general likes of what it is that we will be discussing. You guys, it's up in boxing, y'all. Like when I was sitting down trying to think of a concept for the show, because you guys know I like to round out what the discussion is going to be, kind of give it like a basis and a focal point. So I'm trying to think of all these little, terms I could use, how I could phrase the basic conversation today. And I'm like, listen, I don't have no fancy, I'm saying, I don't have no fancy terms for this. I don't need to beautify this at all. It's up. Like that's it. And when it came to my mind, I'm like, this is what we're gonna go with as far as the title of the show. It really is up. And that's kind of the energy ever since, of course, the announcement of things like the Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight. Ever since, all these things that have been unfolding over the past week, I'm like, damn, I really like what's going on. It's really, really up. And I think that a lot is going to be displayed, within the coming 3 months. I really do feel like that. I think a lot is going to be put on the table. And I think those people who are not about it, those people who are not ready, as always, right, are going to be completely exposed. I guess that's the best word that can come to my mind. Like it's going to be exposed. Who is going to be able to keep up? I think that's a constant, theme that I always have in my mind, because it's a constant question. As things are shifting and changing in the world of boxing, it is only inevitable that, some people, or that everything really will be left evinced in a clear, concise way. Now, that could be, who is going to rise up to, championship, who is going to shine among this, who are the people who are going to face setbacks, how can people stand to overcome any setbacks that are had, how are people going to be able to handle successes is another great question at hand. But I definitely like the terrain that we are entering into, at least for the most part, generally speaking, because there are some things that are up that I am going to put into question this evening with you guys, right? Because I'm a very analytical person. So there are definitely things that I'm looking at that I can concur with. And also, there is also the aspect of things that I'm holding into question. But nevertheless, I could say that overall, I'm liking the energy. I like the fact that there is a level of anticipation. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this upcoming card featuring Devin Haney and Brian Norman. Like I am just like a kid in a candy store, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that this fight is on the horizon, knowing that all of these things are unfolding, and knowing that, some things can finally be answered for us that have been left unanswered. You know what I mean? I think it's a wonderful and interesting time in boxing if it's handled in the right way. In the right way. You know what I mean? Because I really do believe that anybody who's going to shine, they just going to do that. Like they don't need any specific parameters. Things don't have to be, preciously set for them. They're going to do what they do regardless. And I definitely anticipate that and look forward to that. So I'm not really worried, as far as that's concerned. But there are some little parameters here and there, like I said, that I'm holding into question, holding up a little bit closer to the light, that I would also like for us to discuss this evening. Now, I just want to get right into it. I don't really need to be too long-winded. Let me get into this really quickly. Let's start here. Shakur Stevenson has a fight coming up on Saturday, you guys. Is everybody aware of that? Because it's mighty goddamn quiet out here in these boxing streets. I see nobody talking about this. I see nobody asking questions about this. I see nobody, there's really virtually no, content around it. I mean, aside from the little interviews that Ring Mag and maybe DAZN have put out, snip wise and interview wise here and there. But generally speaking, you guys, for the past 2 months, no cap, I have seen virtually no one, no outlet speaking on this fight. It's been absolutely dead silence out here. Facts or no, BFTB?
That's absolute facts. I literally have did just one video, and I'm uploading it now as we speak.
That's wild because this is yes, exactly, King. This is my first video actually speaking about this upcoming fight too. Literally, it's wild. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody has been, really galvanized around this fight. Dead silence, you guys. For 2 months, we have known about this fight for at least 2 months. It's wild work.
You know what's so crazy about that, Queen? You would have expected that this being the biggest fight of Shakur Stevenson's career, like thus far.
Right.
There was other fights that he could have had, of course, but this one right here, he actually got. And you would think that this is the one right here that would get so much buzz, hype, and hoopla. But ever since he signed the fight, it's nothing. Nothing at all. It's over with. It's just signed to fight and that's it.
Absolute fight. Absolute facts. This fight is like, and he has been calling for this. He was calling for Zepeda for how long? Like a year and a half, 2 years. Right after that, right after that De Los Santos fight, he was calling this man's name. And it's crazy that, with all of the, attention that he had been bringing to Zepeda, because before he called his name Real Talk, I didn't give a damn about who the hell he was. I wasn't looking
Me neither.
You know what I mean? And I still ain't checking for his ass Real Talk. So it's like he gave that man more clout than that man ever had in his life by calling him out the way he has been.
And I don't think Oscar wanted him to call his name out, to be honest, because he was maneuvering him through the rankings. People really don't know who he fought to get to where he was at. He was number one across the board, and nobody really knows who he beat to get to those. So he was maneuvered correctly, which I'm not knocking him being maneuvered correctly, but I don't think it was to fight Shakur Stevenson. I don't think that was the goal for Oscar. It just turned out to be that way. And that's another reason why it's like even Oscar ain't saying nothing about it. He stopped talking about that after the Floyd Schofield fight. He stopped. That fell through. He don't even talk about it. That man hasn't brought up nothing yet.
That's crazy work. And you absolutely right. That man was ranked number 1 across all 4 sanctioning bodies.
Yes, all of them.
That's wild work. You absolutely right. And it's like, I feel like you said, I feel you and all. I mean, I'm not, what I'm saying, but what did you do? That's so true. And that still isn't enough steam for people to be galvanized around this fight.
It's still not.
It's like, damn, that's quite an accomplishment. You ranked number 1 in all 4 sanctioning bodies. You got one of the, kings of 135 calling your name, and it's still lackluster as hell.
Nobody cares still. Right now, nobody cares. At this exact moment. I'm curious. I'm curious how much. I'm gonna try to give it a little buzz this week. I'm gonna try, just because you said it. Because I promise you, I really wasn't. But because you said it, I'm gonna try to give it a little buzz and just see what. I promise you, when I do, it's gonna go right back to Devin. But I'm gonna try though. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I doubt that you will have any amount of buzz relative to that of, Devin Haney or anything else that's circulating right now, because, it's just really no interest. It's just how, it's like, it's dry land.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Absolute dry land.
And Devin fights in November, and more people are talking about his fight in November.
Thank you.
Other than Shakur Stevenson fights this weekend, and nobody cares. More people talking about November. It's like, bro, that's months and months away, and we're focused we're literally focused on him and Brian Norman, and Shakur fights this weekend. That's diabolical to me. I see somebody else on your screen, but I'm gonna let you get to it. But that's just diabolical to me. I wasn't even thinking about it until you brought it up.
Yes, that has absolutely taken the entire, boxing world by storm. It has taken the boxing world by storm. That Brian Norman fight. It's all people want to talk about. And I think even before the announcement of the fight, it just was what it was, because we can't necessarily say, okay, well, this fight is a massive fight with B. Norman and the young King Devin. Absolutely, it is. But what about the previous 2 months? We didn't know nothing about no Brian Norman, prior to 2 weeks ago. Well, what can account for the lackluster energy around this fight for the past 2 months, beautiful King? It's wild.
Yeah, they just
nobody give a damn.
It's not just that they don't give a damn. Well, it's more so. This more so leans into the issue that they were having when they ducked Devin. We scored ducked Devin. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
With that 25%, because one of the things they were saying was that he's so known and he's so popular and he's so this and he's so that, so we should get 50-50 to fight Devin because we're so known. But here you are about to fight this weekend, bro. You fight in in 6 days. You fight, and nobody gives a damn, bro. No one's talking about this fight at all. They don't even talk about the main event, let alone you as the co-main.
Exactly.
They don't care at all. You're fighting on a tennis court, and nobody gives a damn. They're more so worried about Devin and Brian Norman in November. So this just solidified why this dude, if you got 50-50 with Dev, it was a blessing from Devin.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I want to make a posit here, because I was really, contemplating what are the elements at hand that are causing this. And one of the things that I came up with, beautiful King, is that I think that many people within the boxing community are simply outright tired of the mediocrity within the matchups that are made for him, particularly. I think that people are growing fed up, just in the same way that people have, become disenchanted with Tank Davis.
Sure.
With the onset of the initial fight with him and Lamont Roach, people were, more dismayed with that fight in March with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach than they had ever showed that level of dismay for Tank Davis before.
Yeah.
And I think that the same thing is catching on with Shakur Stevenson. People are just looking at that and saying, okay, well, who is the Zepeda? Did we ask for this? It's another case of, did we ask for this fight?
No, he asked for it.
Well, exactly. He's been calling his name for, the year and a half, 2 years or whatever have you. We have not. We have been calling for Devin Haney. We had been calling for Tank Davis. Why is this not being made? We were even calling for Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Announcement of the retirement. We didn't get what we were asking for. So I think there's a lackluster energy because of that. The cognizance that's paying attention to this. It's saying, listen, this is a fight for you, especially for the people that rock, very heavily with Shakur Stevenson. I'm sure they're going to, support 10 toes with him. But,
sure.
I can't find anybody whose heart is beating fast over this fight. It's just virtually impossible.
Because it wasn't what we asked for, like you said. And that's another thing you're bringing up that I really didn't think about. Like, I'm an analytical thinker myself, but I didn't think about what you just said. Like, I never asked for that fight. And now come to think of it, I really don't know anybody that did ask for the fight. It was just he asked for it. And because he asked for it, then we put this moniker out there. We put this brand, this tag that, hey, tag, you're avoiding, blah, 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 blah. But the reality of it is I didn't ask for this fight. I could care less if he fought this man ever. I don't really give a damn that he fights, man. I promise you, I'm more so. I would have liked him to fight Shakur. Keyshawn. I would like him to fight Raymond Mortala. I would like him to fight Lomachenko and Devin and Tio and people like that. I really don't give a damn.
That's
if this fight never happens. I could care less, to be honest. I'm just. Man, you just brought that to my attention. I promise you I wasn't thinking about that until just now.
Wow. That's 1,000% King. We would have preferred to see those names that we mentioned of Tank Davis and, of course, the Lomachenko before retirement. But we would have absolutely, been salivating for a fight with him and Teofimo Lopez or whoever. Because this man he's the one that has been positing, I'd move up for the right fights. So let's say he didn't, because we already know he's ducking 147, even though he offered to fight somebody at 54, like we covered last week, beautiful King. Let's say he wanted to just take one step up instead of jumping to the 47, right? Then go to 40. T.O., you know what I'm saying? He's hovering over there. Richardson Hitchens is there. You know what I mean?
I think that T.O. fight in New York is way bigger than him fighting Zepeda. way bigger.
1000%. 1000. Who the hell is, first of all, I can't stand Edward, whatever the hell his name is, Berlanga. I can't stand his ass. Oh, child, that man annoys the hell out of me. I can't stand him.
He's a weird dude.
You beautiful king. You know how we both cannot stand, which is funny as hell because I have long hated that man. So to know that you equally hate him like I do is crazy work. But you know how we both hate Dillian White?
Yes. Yes.
Edward Berlanga is up there for me too. I can't stand that man. I'm just, oh God.
God dang. I never really, to me, I look at Edgar Berlanga is like just a harmless troll. That's how I look at him. I don't look at him like I just don't look. I don't even really look at him like a boxer, to be honest.
Me
I just look at him like, hey, you're just
annoying to me.
He's like a low key Jake Paul type of fighter, to be honest.
Oh my God.
To me, I don't have no beef with him. I just don't necessarily look at him like a skilled guy. Like I mean, he could prove me wrong, but I just don't look at him like that.
I feel exactly the same. And you know what? I'm not hating on him. I like that I don't like it, but I understand that he got the shot with Canelo and stuff like that. And I'm sure he made, most money. So I like that. I like people to go out there and get their bag. I'm not hating on
him. Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as character, why I mentioned that is because I cannot for the life of me understand why that man is headlining. But we're gonna get into that. I just want to stick with Shakur because I definitely wanted to touch on this whole, undercard headline. So basically, beautiful family, like me and the King said, there have been no demands made whatsoever from boxing goers for the Williams Zepeda Shakur Stevenson fight. Yet here Shakur Stevenson is again, with an opponent that just does not put a dent on his legacy. Not a dent. And I am tired of seeing, this repetition as far as Shakur Stevenson is concerned. It's quite baffling to me, if I'm going to be honest with you. I do not understand, why fight after fight after fight. It is with people, who are of no consequence to his legacy. I want to sit back and watch his legacy unfold. I do not want to see mediocrity. I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? I understand, like, if you need a filler, let's say in between time, everybody's schedule doesn't always line up perfectly. I understand that. So in between then, you fight, you keep active, and you get, I get that. But this man hasn't yet had one notable, significant name that he has faced since entering 35. Is crazy. It's crazy to me.
I think I would have more feeling to this fight. Like I would really like this fight if I didn't watch Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer. If I didn't watch that fight, that took a lot of the steam out of it because I thought Tevin Farmer won both fights. And then to watch what Floyd Schofield did to Tevin Farmer, it just took another hit to this fight. It was just like, bro, yeah, it would have been a better fight you fighting Floyd Schofield, dog. You should have just revisited Floyd Schofield, to be honest. I feel like you should have just revisited that because that what Floyd Schofield did to Tevin Farmer and Tevin Farmer fighting Zapata with one arm and making it debatable. Child. It's like, bro, that Floyd Schofield Tevin Farmer fight, they should have did that after this Zapata fight, bro. They should have did it after because that took so much steam out of this fight for me. Like, I didn't really have a lot of it to start out with, but the steam that I did have, like, I felt like if Zapata had never fought Tevin Farmer, I felt like I would have been a little bit excited for it, a little bit. I really would have, because I would have wanted to see how Shakur would have handled the pressure and stuff like that. But then I seen what Tevin Farmer did with the pressure. And the pressure wasn't a damn thing. And then I saw what Schofield did with Tevin Farmer, and it's like, bro, give me Schofield Shakur, bro. Man, give me that, bro. This right here is like, all right, man. It's like, all right, okay. It's not nothing that I'm clamoring for. I watch it, but it's like, bro, it's almost as if putting Floyd Schofield and Tevin Farmer before you fought Zapata. Before that, you took away some luster before you even did it. Almost, you should have just. I don't know. I really feel like, bro, Floyd Schofield. I mean, Shakur Stevenson got to stop Zapata. He's got to stop him. He can't go the distance, man. What Floyd Schofield did to Tevin Farmer, and Tevin Farmer basically beat Zapata twice. Shakur's got to stop him. In my opinion, he's got to stop him, or else they're going to discredit him. They're going to discredit him because of what Tevin Farmer did. They're going to discredit him. They're going to say, well, fight Floyd Schofield, blah 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 blah. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's already so much going around this fight, of course, because of the whole entire notion of the concept of him running and all of these other, all the other stigma associated and attached to Shakur Stevenson, particularly. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of things going on here. So it's like, it's definitely a weird position. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering, like, getting back to the whole undercard of the event, I really just I can't say it enough. I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that a 3-division champion, undefeated, making a title defense against, as we mentioned earlier, somebody highly ranked in every last sanctioning body at a particular time, is the undercard to people who are not undefeated, no real significance or credibility as far as their careers are concerned, or accomplishments that even come a fraction close to that of Shakur Stevenson's accomplishments. Yet he is the undercard. And also, I'm not sure if you peeped this, beautiful king and family. Did you guys notice that in the all of the promo, let's say as far as the poster and also the during the face-off, do you guys recognize the fact that it is Shakur Stevenson that is on the challenger side?
Yes, I peeped that. I definitely peeped that. And I was thinking to myself, because, I understand when a person is like the promotional company will dictate like those type of moves, right? The promotional company. And I was looking to see like if of what, like who's putting on the promotion for this.
Right.
And it's Golden Boy.
Oh, it's Golden Boy.
Golden Boy is promoting this card. Oh. And I'm confused. I was confused when I was looking at that. I was confused at why. Who the like? Strange. So you mean it? So they say all this stuff, right? They say all this stuff because now Shakur Stevenson being promoted by, I think he screwed himself with this one a little bit when he was talking about leaving Eddie Hearn, right? And I think that is how Golden Boy was able to take this over, because it's promoted completely by Golden Boy. Like the matchmakers, Golden Boy, Eric Gomez. I mean, Javier Razo is one of the other matchmakers, and I want to say he works with Matchroom. I want to say that. I'm not necessarily sure, but I know for sure that the main promoter is Oscar De La Hoya. This is an Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy Promotions card.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me, because what they're basically saying is they are killing Shakur Stevenson's narrative about how he deserves 50-50 because he's a draw and blah, 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 right? They're killing his narrative, because in reality, even if this was a Golden Boy card, he's the champion, bro. He should have been on the champion side. He should have been big, but he's getting treated like the challenger to Zepeda, which is diabolical.
It's diabolical, beautiful king. Nothing. I'm looking at this during all the lead ups, the fight. I'm looking at every last face off that they, you know what I'm saying? The face off. I'm like, why is he on the right?
Every single time he's the challenger. Every single time. It's
crazy.
And they did that to him because if they would have had Eddie promote this, then he would have been as the champion. But they had Oscar promoted. And it's crazy to me. But like, again, Shakur did this to himself, in my opinion. Because when he talking about he's leaving Eddie and he's blah, 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 doing it by himself and yada, 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 right? When he did that put Turkey in the position to say, okay, well, if you're leaving Eddie, well, then Oscar, you promote it. Because all he needs is someone with a license. That's all he needs. Just someone with a license. So if you're not going to be working with Eddie, well, then okay, cool. Well, Oscar, you do it. So when Oscar did it, then Oscar put his fighter, Zepeda, as the A side. Because really, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm trying to think, I think all of these guys are other people, are other promoters, are other fighter promoters. All of these guys, except for Zepeda, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say all of these guys.
He's with DAZN.
Yeah, I want to say they're all promoted by someone else. Yeah, so if I'm not, Edgar Berlanga is like Eddie Hearn guy. So is Hamza. They're both Eddie Hearn guys. Subriel Matisse is an Eddie Hearn guy. Puello is a PBC guy. Morel's PBC. Most of these guys are freaking Eddie Hearn guys. Really, the only one is William Zapata. He's really the only one.
That's wild.
Man.
But it's like, you know what? I can't understand, okay, I get the promotional aspect or whatever, but nothing can justify or trump a champion. I mean, he's the champion. Zepeda is the challenger. He is challenging the champ for his strap. That's the champ's strap on the line. So that the logic cannot be superseded. You cannot supersede the fact that he's a champion.
Definitely
bypass it.
Definitely questionable because Hamza Sherez, Edgar Berlanga, Imam that's fighting David Morrell, Subriel Matisse, and Shakur Stevenson. So all of these guys, that's one, Hamza 1, Edgar 2, Imam 3, Subriel 4, and Shakur Stevenson 5. So 5 of the 2, 4, 6, 5 of the 6 fighters. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, 5 of the 8 are Eddie Hearn fighters. 5. Only one of those guys is a damn Golden Boy fighter. Only one.
That's crazy work.
And he's the champion.
Wow.
So he might be the A side, right? As far as, well, damn, I don't even know because he's not being looked at as the A side. The only A side thing he got was matter of fact, did he when they was bringing him out, did they bring him out last? I don't remember. I gotta go back.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's a good question. Did they bring him out last, or was he already?
I gotta go back and look at that again. I gotta go look at that again because
that's a good question.
Yeah, I gotta go look at that again.
Because I think even in the seating, he is on the right. He is on the challenger side in the seating, if I'm not mistaken. It's crazy work, King.
Yeah, it is kind of off. It is kind of off.
Stephen brought up a point that I was going to touch on. Shout out to my brother, the King, Stephen X. He said, Shakur has no black base. This is his main problem. He isolated himself with the community. And that's something that I wanted to touch upon a little bit because I've got so many queries around that very perspective, King Stephen. All in all, I think that Shakur Stevenson is without a doubt a talented figure in the sport. I think that any boxing goer, can hear the name Shakur Stevenson and automatically associate him with a skill level, that is on an elite basis in terms. You know what I mean? I think that he should be, operating well beyond where he has been, because he certainly has the potential, I would posit, to even, enter into legendary status as far as being a figure within this era of boxing. He has the potential to do that based off of the skills that he has shown, at least up until this point, right? He has definitely a lot more to go and more competition to prove that. I'm talking about potentiality, right? However, I'm afraid that I have become increasingly convinced that he will continue, unfortunately, to struggle for a position of prevalence. Go ahead, King.
What's so crazy?
What?
Is this weird ass genericness that people have when they want to try to force somebody to do something. when they try to force somebody like this weird ass nigga in the comments, you trying to force. Oh, the black community loves Shakur. Nigga, you can't tell me who I love, nigga.
Yeah.
You can't tell me nothing, you goofy ass nigga. You can't tell me who I love. You can't tell me who I rock with, goofball. I don't know you. And I don't give a fuck about you. This is sugar free shit. You rock with sugar free, goofy ass nigga. Get off my dick.
Okay. Well, we're going to definitely put somebody in timeout. All right. Maybe he just wanted to talk to you, beautiful king. Maybe
most people do just want to talk to me. They don't give a damn about reality. They just want to talk to me.
All right. Well, you know, the gun is in the building. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what's up.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind it. And I'm not trying to stunt your growth or nothing like that. I don't mind people go at me all the time. I don't mind it.
I don't give a damn. Ain't no stunting, no growth. I don't tolerate BS up in here. Okay? I don't give a damn about no growth. I speak to the family who want to be here. I ain't got to reach the world. I'm talking to the real ones, and there's very few of us already.
Let's say less.
I don't tolerate the nonsense. Okay? Let's keep it cool. Yeah, so I maintain that, you know, there is a sense of lukewarm energy there. There is a tepid connection. Just as the brother Stephen X shared with us earlier, I fully concur with that, Stephen. There is a tepid connection with the public. And I would say, you know, and that also tends to, because the black public are the ones that really, you know, got his back, even though there was a point where he was trying to like bypass that and cater to a more Latin centric, you know, audience, you know what I'm saying, which is a part of his, you know, I guess his heritage and stuff like that, which is wonderful. But in doing that, you know, he seemed to have no longer been associating himself with blackness. Now he has, you know, left the Puerto Rican thing alone, which he doesn't have to. You can, I think he, you know, embrace all of it. If that is
I don't know what this dude is doing.
He don't talk about it no more. He don't talk about the Puerto Rican.
I don't know what he's doing. Like, I'm not sure what his.
Me neither.
I don't know what.
That's just.
Is he Puerto Rican now? Is he not? Like, if he is, cool. I'm not mad at it. Like, I got a lot of my brothers that are Puerto Ricans. I don't got no beef with it.
Yeah,
don't. If you not, then you not. I don't. What are you doing, bro? Like, where you pick and choose when it's good for you, and then you got goofies in the comments talking about the black community. Like, bro, is he black or is he Puerto Rican? Right. I mean, and I'm not saying there's a difference, but he made it a difference. He made the difference.
Yeah, he made the distinction. Yeah. Because in my view,
which one are you?
Exactly. You know, so he kind of had a little disassociation there with as far as the black base is concerned, because people are like, okay, no problem, but why are you putting us down in order to uphold that legacy? You've never come out as Puerto Rican before. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't understand. I don't understand the play that he was doing.
It was confusing.
I feel like this guy is just, a lot of things that he does is just for dollars, and I understand it. And I'm not even knocking it if he keeps it as stack and you know stands on it. Like you always say, 10 toes, put your feet on it. If that's where you're at, we'll rock on it then. You know what I'm saying? We could be mad at it in the beginning, but if you're consistent with what you're doing, then we can rock with it. We could come around to it, but you can't. You literally playing both sides when nobody even asked you if you was playing the game. You started the game and then picked the side that nobody asked you to pick. And now you got people talking about the black community supports you. What are you talking about, bro? Where did this become a black and white thing at all? Like, I don't understand what the hell this dude or anybody's even talking about. We didn't ask him if he was Puerto Rican. We didn't ask him we didn't ask him anything. We just assumed that you were a black guy. You know what I'm saying? Majority of us have some type of mix in this because of how we got over here. But we just assumed that you was a black guy and that was just it. And, you know, you wanted his best skill and yada, yada, yada. You know, you make dumbass moves, but it is what it is. But you made a distinction. You set that criteria. And now you're asking a nationality. You're asking people to nah, man, fuck you, man. I don't gotta do nothing, man. I don't got nah, bro. The more I think about it, the more it's starting to piss me off. To be honest, it's starting to really, really fucking irk me. The more I don't mean to be cussing, but the more it's starting to really irk me. The more I'm thinking about it. Like, bro, what type of time you on, dog?
Yeah.
What is this play here? Are you playing to niggas? Or are you trying to play the Spanish? Like, what is the play here, bro? What is it that you're trying to do? Because I don't understand what this dude is trying to do right now.
Big facts. And you know, it comes across as, like you said, you know, confusing and disheartening because, you know, it looks like it was solely for the purpose of marketing. And we, you know, that's a viable, you know, piece of evidence to say that it was for marketing, because he no longer even assumes that language. He does not talk about he does not hold up his Puerto Rican flag the way he was starting to do at that particular time. You know, he just seemed like he wanted to become marketable, and there was a need, I think, at that time to be accepted by a Latin fan base so that he could broaden his, you know, quote unquote, what he thought would be broadening into that Latin, Mexican, Dominican. He wanted to reach out there. He wanted to reach out there because the old tale is that Black fans don't support boxing and we don't spend money for boxing, but that could not be the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Boxing just like everybody else does. So I don't know, you know, he was feeding into a lot of that nonsense that you know, he allowed himself to be swindled into.
Right. Now that makes sense. So I don't now if you the way you just put it, right? It seems to me like he did that for the yes. Now it is for the bread now, because everything he's done is for the bread. He hasn't been thorough about standing on anything. It's just a money push. Everything's been from, and he felt like he could dibble dabble into the Latino market. So now I'm going to talk about how I'm Latino. Well, nigga, wasn't you Latino your whole life or half of it? How come you never exercised that right, that half of it at any other time during your life? You never put that out at any other time. You waited for an opportune time when you believed that Top Rank was pushing the Latino side, and then you push that.
It's like a marketing attempt gone absolutely awry.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's why he is no longer promoting that language. That's why he's no longer even referencing that history or background or heritage, nothing. He's just back to being Shakur Stevenson. That's it. And it's like, I think that had an effect on, as far as the public, getting back specifically to the Black audience, but even into, the realm of the larger boxing world. I think there still remains to be a very tepid connection in general with the boxing public. And it isn't only due to, let's say, the new wave hate train that, is against people like him, the elite Black boxing style. That definitely plays a role in it currently, for sure. But also, in addition to that, there's also the fact of the performance, his now infamous performance with Edwin De Los Santos. That left a sour taste in many people's mouths in the boxing world. In fact, he cannot live that down to this day. That happened 2 years ago. And people are still, sour at the memory of that particular fight, so that he cannot even let that go. He can't even say, okay, even though he was very aggressive and dominant in front foot action against Padley, you know what I'm saying? He cannot live that down. So it's like he's dealing with a lot, and a lot of it is by his own hand. A lot of it is by his own hand. The level of tepidness, I would say he should be way further ahead as far as how he is accepted and handled and embraced by the general public than he is. He is deficient right now as far as the level of popularity. It's in a deficient state. And the way he has been moving, Beautiful King, as you know, as you always say, and as the real ones always say, it leaves so many questions. And I think this is what hinders people from really wrapping their arms around him by the droves. Not that he does not have a select fan base that really rock with him and support him. It's hard not to, when you consider how skillful he has assumed himself to be up until this point. But there is still a disconnect there. And a lot of that is not only, of course, it goes hand in hand with marketing, but also it is how he puts himself across in his own actions and decisions as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He's weird, man. He's very good fighter, phenomenal fighter, but just fucking weird to me. He's just weird to me.
Yes. And also, I wanted to get into this while we're on the subject of Shakur. Let's see. I'm not sure if you saw this or who in the building may have seen this, the family. But Shakur Stevenson, you guys, speaking about crazy moves, this is really where I want to divulge that perspective, all right, about the moves that he makes and the decisions he makes and how he chooses to, put himself forward. Now, Core sat down with none other than Taco Hat Man for an interview with DAZN. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if you saw this, Beautiful King. Have you?
I saw a part of it, and then it turned my stomach.
Yes.
It's like, bro, you
Yes.
guys are y'all are the worst, man. These people are so they're so deluded. Like, bro, do you realize that this man is talking about you when he's talking about finals running? He's talking about you, and you sit down with this coon, this weird ass dork. You sit down with this guy, and you're just fine. Whatever, man. Whatever. If that's what you want to do, man. If you guys want to sit with the black slave catcher, man, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, rock on, homie. Rock on.
Absolute facts. I was literally on the same wavelength as you when I saw that, Beautiful King. I'm scrolling through goddamn Twitter, and of course I come across this as well. So he is sitting down with Taco Hat, y'all, the infamous shucking and jiving Taco Hat, the meathead man, as I call him as well. Now, for the life of me, family, I could not perceive of why Shakur Stevenson makes the moves that he makes. Okay. There's so many things that I want to tap into here, but I'll start here. What is Shakur's obsession? That he has with the fondling of, the cossetting of, and the protection of racist Riri Garcia? What is that man's affinity for needing to protect Riri Garcia on public platforms and in public displays? What is this need?
I don't know. Man, I've pondered this a few times.
Oh my God.
Few times. And all I can come up with is the simple fact that he hates Devin. He's been jealous of Devin for a very, very long time. And that jealousy, and he tries at times. I'm not gonna bash him because he tries at times to like not let it affect him.
He tries to not activate the coon chip.
Yeah, he does. And then other times it's just like
it's out of his control. It activates by itself.
It's like, bro, like, gosh, man, like, bro, like, the more and more this dude he's just weird. He's a weird human being, man. He's a weird dude. Like, bro, like, you are literally where the DHP put bread in your pocket 1,000 before you even knew what 1,000 was, gave you 1,005, to be honest. Wow. Gave you 5 racks, flew you to a mansion, put you in, showed you what this was like, gave you motivation to do what you do.
Wow.
Now you had motivation behind it, man. And the best thing that you can do is not be grateful. And I'm not saying you got to kiss anybody, but I'm not saying that at all. You could be grateful for what it is. You can still be rivals, bro. Ain't nobody mad at you being rivals. Nobody mad at it at all. But you go out of your way. Interviews, all kinds of things. It's always, I mean, if it was Devin, this blah, blah, blah. I think that Devin. It's like, bro, what is you're obsessed with this man, bro?
Yes.
For like no reason, bro. Like, bro, don't you got a wife, bro? Like, you're obsessed with this man. Like, bro, you were offered multiple times. You was offered, and you didn't want it because it wasn't on you. Whatever, bro. Whatever. These type of things start to piss me off.
Yeah,
I don't really get pissed off. So I'm just fall back because it's starting to piss me off.
It's weird on every count, Beautiful King. I have not yet been able to get my mind around this phenomena that he does, always needing to interject, always needing to publicly, become a shield for Ryan Garcia. Okay, we have seen that over the course of the past year and a half. Shakur Stevenson has created a pattern, in other words. of needing to interject himself into matters concerning racist Riri whenever scrutiny abounds, whenever Riri does something that projects him unfavorably. I'm noticing this particular trend. I can't find one diehard Ryan Garcia fan that exists after all the nonsense happened, and most certainly after he got his ass put on the canvas. Ryan Garcia fans done scattered like goddamn roaches out here, but we can surely count on Shakur Stevenson to get the motherfucking bat signal that his beloved Riri needs some help out this bitch.
Every time.
What's happening, y'all? It's crazy work to me. Let's not forget the time that Shakur Stevenson tried to come in and divert attention away from racist Riri and that tirade that he went on, where he said all types of vile, disparaging comments about Black people, our people, Muslims, saying that he wants to join the Klan and all the other ridiculous, disgusting things that he said off of the heels of having been caught on PEDs following the Devin fight. This is the time where he decided to interject himself and posture for the safety of Riri Garcia. Let's remember the fact that he and his BFF Keyshawn Davis at that particular time swung in ass first. Ass first. That's how they swung in, with the whole ass first. The first thing through the door was the ass. Okay? With the shield up to protect Ryan Garcia. They used their asses to block the bullets. Okay? And now, here he go again. He's back at it again, y'all, in this interview. If you haven't seen it, go check out the clip. It's on, YouTube. If you're on Twitter, you'll find it there if you want it in short form. Ask first to save the day. Here's Shakur Stevenson, you guys. You really can't make this stuff up. Okay? In this interview, Shakur Stevenson is seeking to provide an out as to why his beloved Riri looked absolutely terrible and absolutely pitiful in his loss to Rolly Romero back in May. Now, I want to get into this, y'all. Now, in this interview, he is in a sit down, like I said, with the meathead man, Mr. Taco Hat himself. And he is asked his thoughts about the way the May 2nd card looked and the fights on that particular card that, of course, featured Ryan and Rolly and Tio and Barboza, and, of course, Devin and Ramirez. And in this particular portion of that interview, this is a quote. He said, this is Shakur Stevenson, you guys, a quote. He said this: I wasn't mad at Devin and Tio because it looked like they actually trained. It looked like they went out there and trained for their fights. I don't think Ryan Garcia gave the best version of Ryan Garcia. I don't think he was prepared. I don't think that there was any training camp in place that got him ready for that fight. And if it was, it wasn't a good one. And it wasn't a lot of time. It couldn't have been. End quote. Do you hear this?
Cool.
Do you hear this?
Dude's weird.
What kind of weird ass, sus ass statement is that?
Dude is just weird. It's like, why are you capping for this guy?
The capping is crazy.
What? But I don't understand what you capping for though. What? It's not like it's not like Ryan Garcia ever came out and praised Shakur Stevenson. He's been crapping on Shakur Stevenson from the very beginning.
Exactly.
I'm not sure why does he feel the need to jump off the bridge and protect Ryan Garcia? Like I'm not sure what that's about at all.
I have no idea. It's like, did you forget that damn Riri was telling you that you the best, remedy for sleep and boxing?
Facts.
Did he fucking forget that?
He was dragging.
I don't even need, my sleeping pill shot. Just watch Shakur Stevenson, honey. It's like, what?
He was dragging him. He was dragging his ass. And then this dude coming out here in full praise mode, like, no, well, to me, he didn't train. I think you just basically giving him an excuse. You're basically no. What happened is you went out there, you weren't on drugs, and Rolly beat you up. That's what happened. That in the end of this. That's the end of this. End of subject. You went out there, you weren't on peds, and Rolly beat you up.
Exactly.
The end.
Exactly. It's insanity. Absolute insanity, the way this man in his mind is dealing with a level of dissonance that he cannot accept. That man just outright went in there and got his ass beat. No excuses necessary. He got beat by motherfucking Rolly. But these are the same people, that'll be up and, he had the gall. Where was this excuse for Devin Haney?
Oh, nah.
And not even that Devin needed an excuse, but better yet, I should rephrase that. Actually, let me retract that statement. Where was that benefit of the doubt when Devin Haney defeated Lomachenko and he crawled in that ring again, ass first, ready to demean and disavow Devin's performance? Oh, I think Loma won. Loma won.
Hey, pretty much.
But this man got his whole ass put to the motherfucking canvas. And you don't want to believe that Ryan lost. Oh, there got to be some excuse. Oh, maybe his training wasn't bad. I mean, good enough. Maybe he didn't even train at all. Maybe he didn't have enough time to train. Maybe he banged his pinky toe on a coffee table.
He got all kinds of excuses. I can't call it. I can't call this one. Yeah, I can't call this one. This one I'm unsure of on this one.
It's diabolical. Absolutely diabolical, King. And sitting there watching that, I just was like, oh my God, what is going on here? The sheer denial and the coping that was present in this man's statement was baffling to me. Baffling. And what was astounding was the need to state, while he is talking to a known operative.
I know.
Known operative of old media, as you posited earlier, beautiful King. He is sitting there saying that to that man, the op, okay, a known agent who is
crazy,
who is in full support of the agenda and the push that facilitates all types of propaganda, seeking to uphold and perpetuate rhetoric that casts, all types of favoritism and leniency over those they consider to be preferred, in contrast to those whom they deem to be a threat to that agenda. He is saying that in front of this motherfucker that pushes that supports that rhetoric.
Tripping.
It's crazy.
Absolutely tripping. Absolutely tripping. But, I see a lot of these people that feel the need to cater to that level of nonsense. They feel the need to cater. It's like if they're not catering to that level, then they feel left out, or they feel as if catering to that level of nonsense sort of makes them better than someone else. It's one of those things that sort of irks me so badly at times that I remove myself completely from the whole thought.
You have to at some and by way of some measure, there has to be a sort of an unplugging, as you said. I definitely agree with that. But because we do this, it's difficult to stay unplugged for too long, because you come back and you notice the bullshit again in another area or avenue, and it's just like, well, what is going on? I really don't get it. That is the person he is talking to. And let's not also forget or bypass the fact that it is this man, the meathead loving clown, who promoted and advertised and advocated for Ryan's alleged innocence, according to his mind.
Yes.
Oh, he didn't test positive. They tricked him. It was Tupac and Biggie.
He got a deal with DAZN for doing that.
Yes. Off of doing that. 1,000%.
Off of pushing that narrative, that negative narrative, off of pushing that narrative, he got a deal. He got a deal with DAZN for that.
He shoe-shined his ass off. You know what I'm saying? For that.
Through Golden Boy.
Yes, he can. He done put his hair up in a ponytail and everything. He didn't want nothing getting in the way of the job he had to do. Okay? Fresh knee pads and all out here. That's the man that promoted the crazy notion of Ryan's innocence after he tested positive and failed multiple, at least 4 drug tests, you guys. That's the clown that he is talking to that promoted that nonsense, that pushed that nonsense. This man blatantly lied and tried to push the narrative of the hair follicle test being more accurate and substantial, a result for testing more so than a urine sample, which is absolutely crazy when you are testing for PEDs in boxing. That's this clown. Oh no, you got to get the hair follicle test. Let's wait for the hair follicle. It's crazy work what type of time this man was on.
I can't explain nothing about dude, man. I can't explain nothing about that. I don't know what type of time Buddy is on. I'm not sure. Nothing. I honestly can't explain. I tried talking to this dude and telling him, like, bro, like you're bugging, bro. Like you're just saying things that is blatantly not true, homie. Like you have a fan base that people that your word matters, bro. You start spreading lies and stuff. People is taking your words as the facts, bro. Yeah, and dude just was like, hey man, I'm not lying, I'm not lying. I'm gonna do my thing, bro. You are lying though. You are lying. You're blatantly lying. You're saying that the hair follicle test is better or outweighs a drug test, a piss test.
Yes.
No, it doesn't, because you don't know where the hair follicle came from. You have no idea.
Thank you.
Anybody could have just gave that hair follicle test, bro. Anybody could just. The doctor didn't take it. All the doctor did is take. Man, it just make me mad. All the doctor did is take the damn test.
Right.
They just took the damn hair follicle that you sent. The hair follicle you sent. They took that and freaking and tested it. All right. Well, cool. Well, no, anybody could do it, bro. I could send you a hair from anybody, man. That doesn't mean it was my hair. I just sent you a hair. What the hell does that mean?
Just like he sent in the fake ass, open ass, product that he had.
Yes.
He already has no credibility whatsoever. Why the hell would I trust a hair follicle coming from him? You already sent a compromised, piece of evidence to the people who were supposed to test the supplement that supposedly had the ostarine in it, which was an absolute lie.
I really don't understand a lot of people's moves. I'm not sure what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but bro, I don't necessarily understand what you're trying to accomplish. Like, I'm always asking, what's your end goal? Give me your end goal. Because if you give me your end goal, then I can understand what it is that we're talking about. And because you might not be articulating it correctly. So give me your end goal and let's start with that. And, we'll go there. They don't even got the end goal.
Usually, if you have to ask that question, beautiful king, there is no end goal. There is just a need and a desire to argue.
Basically.
Right? Because when you are talking to somebody who wants to have a level of clarity, and they are trying to get to a point of understanding, even if the matters at hand don't coincide completely. What is prevalent is the need to understand. And so you will never have to ask somebody who is on that type of time, what is your end goal here? Because it will not be clouded. It will not be convoluted. A lot of times, a lot of these people just like to argue and hear themselves talk. You know what I mean? So it's just nonsensical in every capacity that you can think about it. Crazy work. And in looking at this, for anybody, like I said, if you haven't seen that clip, please go watch it. I gave you a direct quote, but nothing's going to hit like the actual statement. If you guys wanted to, just get a gander at that really quickly and see for yourselves, how nonsensical this man looks sitting in front of them, making such a ridiculous excuse for racist Riri. Oh, he didn't. Maybe, he probably trained barely, and if he did, it wasn't enough time. It couldn't have been. This is what he's saying.
Yo.
It's like, what? How the fuck did we get here? How did we end up here?
Well, what did Taco Hat say about it? Was he agreeing with it?
So in the clip, he was trying to, but he tried to say, well, because that in the fight, Rolly, did kind of, hit him. Maybe he just kind of showed up, but what's his name? Interjected, and so he didn't let Taco Hat complete the statement. Now, at that point, after I saw what I saw, I need to see no more real talk. So if you wanted to see if there were further questions asked after Shakur Stevenson made that, then you would have to go ahead and go open that up and look into it yourselves. I went to the edge and I need to go no motherfucking further because I had heard enough.
Now I'm curious.
But yeah, during the interaction, Shakur Stevenson cut him off when he tried to posit something else, but he interjected so that he could finish that statement. And I just didn't want to see anything else after that. I heard all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
All of these things are around Shakur Stevenson. And these are part and parcel to what I wanted to point out earlier as to why there exists a tepid, lukewarm, lackluster energy surrounding his embrace by the larger boxing public. Okay? Things like this. It does not look good. It does not bode well for the fans, especially black fans. You may get a laugh or a chuckle out of these race fans who already want to see black fighters as compromised as possible. But the fact that you would I think it's for a pat on the head. That's what these people do these types of things for. Oh, he didn't really lose. He just had a bad camp. I don't think he had enough time in his, they will say anything to jump in front of a bullet, to render, who they consider to be a victim, susceptible to facing that criticism that they don't want them. They want to protect them from being criticized and critiqued.
Right.
Meanwhile, the people who don't deserve the level of critique and disavowing that they receive, they don't stop throwing shots at them. There's nobody jumping aside from us real ones 10 toes. That is, to defend and change the trajectory of the narrative. They go full force. They aiming for the head for people who don't deserve it. It is nobody's fault but Ryan's own mediocrity for the reason why he lost to Rolly. Don't tell me that he had a bad training or he barely had a training camp. How the hell would you know? Were you there glazing him while he was putting his gloves on? You feel me? How the hell would you know that? Were you helping him put his shoes and socks on and his underwear on? Were you out there, giving him water? Were you the water boy during his camp? What type of diabolical nonsense is this?
Just
I never
protection.
heard another grown-ass man. Yes, it is protection. I never heard another grown man, another grown fighter say such a thing. Oh, he just had a bad camp. That's something his wife would say.
Facts.
Shouldn't she know that?
That's your boo.
Right. Where's his boo? Can she tell me that? Because she would surely know. She would know that if his camp was insufficient or he, whatever he was going through during camp. She should be saying that. Why are you coming in here ass first like this? Crazy diabolical work, my love.
But when you're that type of, when you have hate in your heart for somebody, when you have a disdain for somebody, then it's very easy to pull this type of nonsense when you have a natural disdain. If you don't like somebody and you just don't like them, you can. It's very, very easy. It's not difficult. It's very, very easy to get this type of thought process if you just naturally don't like somebody. And he naturally don't like Devin. And it what's so crazy about it to me is it's disheartening because Devin never looked at it like that. And I know this. I know it for a fact. He never looked at Shakur as a hater like that, bro. He always looked at him. He always looked at him as like a friend. You know what I'm saying? He a friend, and I know we're going to eventually fight. That's my guy. You know, he looked at him like that, and it was one of those things where it's like you could say it to him, But all that would do is he would just be like, he wouldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? He had to go through these things, which is why he closed his circle off. He closed his circle off. He don't really have a lot of people that he used to hang out with before. Like Dev he's really, really closed off to a lot of people, because after that Ryan stuff, and with the Shakur and the Ryan stuff, I'm not going to say he was like mentally affected. It's like, nah, his eyes were opened.
His eyes were open. Yes. Because it exposed so many things, and I could only imagine what it exposed for him, having been the center of that. Because I know it surely exposed a lot of things for me, being on the outside and just engaging at the social media landscape, and what was being created at that time was crazy work. So I could only imagine, everything that was unveiled to him, and all these actions and temperaments and attitudes of people that he was peeping. 1000%. It makes sense, that he would have cut off or made, condensed his circle after coming off of that particular scandal.
When you're undefeated and you making millions, and everybody that you're making millions, everybody around you, you're giving everybody bread. All these people that you think are your friends, you're giving them all money. They're all hanging around you for the bag, and then they're shouting you out, best fighter in the world. All these things they're saying to you, but they really don't believe it. They're just saying that because you're paying them, you're giving them money, not necessarily paying them, but if ever they need something, you got them. And then when things go the way they did with Ryan and the drug, before the drug cheating, like, man, before the drug cheating, there wasn't a lot of people around like that. Like when they thought it was just when we thought it was just a loss, man, it was like there was the family was there, and that was it.
Wow.
It was like straight went like ghost town type stuff. Wow. And that's when Dev was like, all right, well, I'm glad these certain things happen. That's when he says, Allah's a perfect planner. He makes no mistakes, because it allowed people that really didn't rock with him to expose themselves, right? 1,000%. And then once they exposed themselves, once it came back out, which is so beautiful in the Muslim religion, because once it came back out, well, what happened, and Devin got his O back, then all of a sudden, all the people that were downing and degrading him, the first thing they tried to do is they tried to act like it was just boxing. They tried to act like that so they can get back in good favor with him. That was the first thing they tried to do. And then when that didn't work, then it was a whole different type of ball game. And then next thing you know, now the people that was cool, well, now they're back cool. But the people that was cool was hating on them. They was hating on them big time. It was crazy. It was crazy to witness from the outside looking in. It was crazy to witness. But
I can only imagine. At
this particular moment now, though, Dev is like, when you're young, you're young and you do young things. You just don't know. You have to live and you learn. But now he's like a old head with some of the life experiences he's been through. So those things it's got to be something new to get to him, because you're not going to get him twice with the same thing. It's got to be something new now. If it isn't new, you ain't gonna get to it.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about wisdom and growth and, a consciousness, awareness. So I'm glad that he is, living, along that line of himself to make sure that he remains smart. In addition to remaining focused, he is remaining clear as well, because it's crazy out here. I can only imagine, the levels of things that he goes through, and having to keep, basically all three eyes on these particular people around him, outside of course, his close people, is definitely necessary.
Right.
Shakur Stevenson, is, I don't even know what to say. Oh, I did want to say one last thing about him while we're on him. I was scrolling through Twitter, maybe yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure if you guys came across this, but I came across a post that Turkey made, and it's a post that I found to be quite bizarre, you guys. No cap. The post read the following, quote, "We have a surprise for Shakur Stevenson on Saturday. A ring that shrinks as the fight goes on. Shakur says he is ready to deliver a beatdown of Zepeda, and I just know the Mexican is prepared for the challenge of the biggest fight of his life. End quote. Did you guys hear this?
I seen it. I definitely seen it.
A ring that shrinks as the fight progresses?
Shitting on Shakur right to his face.
And he talk about, I got a surprise for you, baby. What you talk about? I got a surprise for Shakur.
Shitting on him right to his face.
Right to his damn face. And the fact that he stated that this quote unquote surprise is for Shakur is what I just couldn't help but take heed of first. I'm like, why are you saying it's for Shakur? Aren't two men going to be in a goddamn ring? Why is it a surprise for Shakur Stevenson? Is he fighting himself?
Diabolical.
Why was the paper that, oh, I got a surprise for the two, you know what I'm saying, fighters? He specifically mentioned Shakur. So that, go ahead.
I was going to say Shakur Stevenson is a joke. Damn. Like, seriously. It's like, bro, like, I understand that these things might be promotion. It might be promotion. But the best thing that you could do is just say nothing, bro. Because you're making yourself look bad by responding in a way that the average person wouldn't. The average person would be like, what the fuck you talking about, dog? What kind of shit is this? So you're against me. Okay. Like, that's the average person would be saying. But the best thing that he can do, since, he's getting millions from this guy, the best thing he can do is just say nothing. Right. Say nothing, bro. Just say nothing. Go out there and do your thing. Just say nothing. Just go out there. If you're making the ring smaller, fine. What you don't realize is that type of rhetoric will get into your head and cause you to fight a certain way and get you knocked the fuck out.
Child.
Knocked straight the fuck. And I feel like his dumb ass is gonna fall right into that. I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. But I feel like all of this pressure on him to perform.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to get to him.
Oh, wow.
I really do. I hope it doesn't. I don't want it to. I want him to win.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like the pressure is going to get to him. And he's going to out there, he's going to be doing something that he shouldn't do, and he's going to get clipped. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really am hoping I'm wrong. I really am, because I don't want him to lose.
Yeah.
And I'm picking him to win. But with these type of antics that Turkey is doing, and that he is, bro, you don't see him doing that with Zapata. He's doing these antics with you, with your dumb ass, and you following through.
Exactly. That's what I'm like,
dumbass.
The fact that he mentioned, I got a surprise for Shakur. This is the tweet. I didn't see no fucking tweet on his page that said anything, resembling that type of statement to Zapata. Only Shakur.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm blown away. I'm blown away at this one. This one took me by surprise, and not that because what people are going to say when they're saying weird ass things like this doesn't necessarily surprise me. Right. What surprises me is the response. It's like, bro, you know better, or do you? I thought you knew better. I thought you knew better. You know better, and then instead of knowing better, when you know better, you do better. You know better, and you do worse. You cater to this. Catering to this is going to put you for whatever, bro. This dude might get in there and lose.
I hope not. I'm rooting. He has no reason to lose to Zapata on Saturday. There's absolutely no reason why. This should be an absolute wash. There is no reason why he should not win. Okay. As far as this, shrinking and moving adjustable ring, I hope that this is nonsense. I hope that this is, some ill attempt at a joke on the part of Turkey. That's a hell of a whack ass joke. If it is one, it's weird. But if it is true, it's hand in hand with what I was saying in another live. Where I was pointing out the circus act and the charade act, that the whole thing with the whole what was it called, knockout bonus, how it felt like a circus.
Yeah.
Like, oh, gather around, come out, we giving knockout bonuses, y'all, come here, come here.
Right.
That's what this feels like as well. A fucking moving ring. That better be a goddamn joke. It better be a joke.
What's so crazy about that? I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Me neither. That's what I'm like, because I'm already hearing the nonsense about the smaller ring. It's like the smaller ring wasn't enough. Now you got to have it goddamn moving and flexing and turning and goddamn gyrating.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what is going on with this one. But at first, when I first heard it, I was just thinking, when I first seen it, I'm like, all right, this is just banter.
Right.
But now I'm like, hey man, this shit might actually be real. It might actually be a ring that has fucking motorized and it fucking shrinks. I wouldn't. And the crazy part about it is, I'm hoping this is not the case. I really am. But the crazy part about it is, if it is, no one's gonna be. It's not like they're gonna say I didn't tell you so.
Oh my!
I hope it's not the case. I hope it's like just banter. It's just talk. It's nothing serious. That's what I hope. But if it is, and no one's to blame, hey, you can't blame anybody but yourself.
Oh my God. And is there a goddamn permit for that? Because that doesn't sound like it. It sounds very hazardous.
I mean, I would say it's not. I would say they're not going to do it. Like, if I had to bet on it, they're not going to do no shit like that. It's just talk, right? Because in America, they're fighting on a tennis court in America. But if it was in Saudi Arabia now, I wouldn't put it past them. But it's in America. It's in New York. I don't see it happening. It's going to be. I think it's more just tongue-in-cheek conversation. I think it's more so shit like that. I don't think at all it's gonna happen. But just the simple fact that what makes it worse for me though is not that it's gonna happen, is that this dummy is catering to it. It's like, bro, let this man just talk his shit, and you go out there and fight your fight. If your dumb ass goes out there and you fucking try to fight because of all these people talking about running this and running that, and you want to go out here and show somebody that you're a different level of fighter and try to mix it up with this man, what's going to happen is you're going to do what motherfucking other fighters did, like Demetrius Andrade, and get your ass knocked out. And I hope it doesn't happen, but he's just talking shit. To me, he's just talking shit.
Yeah, like, it's definitely got to be that.
Yeah, it's just shit.
And I'm like, because of course that's the first thing that goes into my mind. But of course, I look at things, I inspect things, and let's say it isn't, let's say it's what we all can pretty much assume. Okay, well, you got to be, kidding me out here. There is still the aspect of him catering to the logic that seeks to berate the movement and style that is particular and specific to Black elite fighters. And that is what Shakur Stevenson is. He is an elite Black fighter. So the very language, even if it's a joke, the fact that you are saying something like this to him, that is targeting and singling out his particular style that is already under fire and already the cause for why you would introduce an 18 by 18 ring when every fight in boxing history has been in a standard size ring. This is him playing off of that narrative.
Well, he's an idiot. Shakur's an idiot for following through with the narrative. So it's like, for me, right, how I look at this, if I'm going to say something to somebody, then cool, I'm saying something to somebody. If you're dumb enough to follow through with the narrative, then you're dumbass. You put yourself in this situation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying you're the one that's putting yourself in this now. So if you're stupid enough to put yourself in it, and this is how I look at this dude, as dumb enough to do this, he's dumb enough to put himself in this situation. Like, just don't say anything.
Exactly.
Just don't say anything, bro. It's like you're so dumb that you're putting yourself in a situation, and what's going to end up happening is Turk is going to be yelling at you from the sidelines that he wants you to mix it up, and you're going to be looking at Turkey or trying to fight with Zapata and Turkey at the same time, because now you want to step to Zapata and punch on Zapata, and then look at Turkey and show Turkey what this and blah blah blah. You're putting yourself in this predicament, man. You're doing this to yourself. So I don't even blame Turkey, to be honest, because anybody can say what anybody wants to say. It's up to the person who it is being said to on how you react to it. If that's the case, people called you a runner all these times, right? They say you run, they say you're boring. Well, then you go out there and don't use no defense and mix it up. You didn't do that. So your stupid ass right now mixing it up with Turkey is the dumbest thing in the world, because you're going to take away from yourself. Just an idiot, man. Just an idiot. Whatever.
Like you said, how he's going to go into this fight is going to, I think it's what's problematic for me is that the tone and the language that Turkey already initiated and that he is now perpetuating with the joke of, oh, we're going to have a ring that shrinks. It's all catering to this anti-Black elite American style. And so that I think it's adding on to, because he already signed a contract, he's going to fight his fight. So, it's going to be what it is. But like you said earlier, it's all in a persuasion of getting him to fight contrary to that of that style that is now under fire, contrary to that of the style that he is known for. And that is to say, like you said, to play, some sort of mind game with him. Is he going to allow that into his space mentally in the fight? Is he going to try to go out there and overextend perhaps in a particular way that could screw him up? Is he going to try to go out there and over please? Is there going to be an overzealousness to, woo the crowd, to swindle, a level of appreciation on the part of the fans who are going to already be anticipating that he is going to be doing his movement, doing his footwork? What is he going to do? Yeah, and the same question prevails for Bud Crawford, because that narrative is now surrounding him as well, with the whole idea of the ring and the Canelo telling him don't run, and all of this language is pervasive all across the board with elite Black fighters. And I'm wondering if that will play into Bud Crawford's fight style against Canelo. They want these people to rescind their abilities, beautiful King.
Well, if it does, if these guys allow it to happen to them, then they're idiots.
Exactly. They better not let it get in the way.
Yeah, I don't have no mercy at all. If you know what's going on, it's not like you don't know. It's not like you don't see who they're singling out, bro. You know what's going on. If you allow them to do it to you, you're a damn idiot.
Exactly.
But I don't really. I would say that I could have, like, because I've been thinking about it. Like I have a video, like I talked to Bill last week, and we talked specifically about this conversation. So I know he's talking to Dev. I know he's talking to Dev about it, because we specifically talked about this, and he was annoyed, for lack of a better term, that they're only selecting 3 fighters. Like this here, they're only selecting 3 fighters. The 3 fighters they're selecting is Devin, Bud, and Shakur. This is what Bill told me. He was annoyed on why they're only going after 3 fighters. Why is it only 3 fighters that they're? That's what his thought process was. And it wasn't like he wasn't even mad at. It wasn't like he was mad at Turkey. He didn't give a damn. And he said the same thing I'm saying now. Like, bro, like, dude can say whatever he want to say. Yeah. It's not him that, he was sort of annoyed at. It's like, bro, like, he's annoyed at the people that look like us. It's like, bro, you look like us, and you're okay with this. It wasn't like he wasn't annoyed. I asked him specifically about the Turk. If he was like, man, he can say whatever he want to say. That doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you. He was like, it shouldn't bother you, like, because people are going to speak, they're going to say what they want to say, right? What should bother you is when people that look like you, that have the same struggles as you, speak against some of the things that you say, or speak against themselves, their own interests. That's what should bother you. And like I said, I'm not going to go into too much because we have a lot of conversations that don't have nothing to do with boxing and shit like that. But it was just one of those things. This was just one of those topics that it was like, he was just like, I don't understand YouTubers and social media and stuff that you guys will go against yourself. Like you go against yourself. Like that part right there, he was struggling with.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's hard to wrap one's mind around, because it's like, well, if you care about the sport the way a lot of these people proclaim to do, then there is no reason that can justify why you would be opting to berate the elites that are upholding the sport. Just like I referenced to you the other time we spoke, beautiful King. Shouldn't we be upholding the people who are going to bring boxing into tomorrow? Wilder's on his way out at some point. EJ is on his way out at some point. Canelo and Bud are on their way out at some point.
Yeah.
Why are we disavowing the youngsters who are going to carry this thing forward? It's a weird situation.
It's almost, I almost see this as removing what your naturally God-gifted skill is.
That's exactly what it is. Because that natural skill can easily be overcome or dominated in the ring. It's always been that way historically for our people and our people who exhibit that particular type of style. That level of athleticism is something that's attributed to us because it has had success, and it has maintained success. You just can't walk in there and dominate that if you are without those particular skills yourself.
Yeah. Yes, it's a unique thing that I'm glad that Trill sees it, because I'm not saying that Devin doesn't, but Devin listens to Trill. So with Trill seeing it, then it's one of those things where I know Devin isn't going to be trying to do more than he should.
Yeah.
I just look at it like that.
Let's get into this. Whatever's going to happen, with Shakur Stevenson, he will show and prove. I guess we will, it's all to be seen on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm definitely rocking with him. I am rooting for him to win. There's no reason, like I said, why he should not win. This should be a cakewalk, as Mayweather would say. I expect nothing less. So, I'm rooting 10 toes for Shakur Stevenson to win this fight. He has everything that he needs to get it. I just want this shit over with. And after he gets this dude out of the way, packs him up and zips him up, we need to get to some major actual fights in line for Shakur Stevenson. What's the tone going to be if yet again, after this particular fight coming up on Saturday, he lines up another, person that we did not ask for? It's a decline. It's a decline, and it's a perpetuation of the lackluster energy that is going on in the boxing world for him. He cannot make the connection off of these kinds of fights. He just cannot continue to do that. It cannot persist. So I'm hoping that after this debate fight, we get to see some actual materializing of the fights that matter and that actually mean something and bring value to his legacy.
I doubt it.
That, I'm hopeful of that. But like I said as well, I become increasingly doubtful that he would be able to have the prevalence that he should be having. He's not going to get it with these types of fights. That's for sure.
I don't see anything that would make me think that he would do that. I don't see nothing. But I think
so talented.
He's going to end up fighting whoever is next up, and it ain't going to be Andy Cruz, because Andy Cruz is fighting for the IBF title. Yeah, so whoever is next up after that, whoever's next up, that's who he's fighting. It's going to be some guy like Joe Cordina,
Oh my God. Who just won a fight, by the way. He just won a fight, I think yesterday.
Yes. And that's why I can.
They try to run it back with that damn Joe Cordina. I swear for God, BF.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me not one bit.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, absolutely not one bit. Nothing. If that fight happened next,
oh my goodness.
Clearly see people saying, look, he was going to fight him anyway. And, that fight was there. So this is a good fight. This is not a bad fight. And then they'll start using Tank's name and saying, well, Tank don't want to fight him. So
right.
he's only fighting the guy that's there. And that type of nonsense will go on. And then he'll end up fighting Cordina again.
Oh my goodness. Just the thought of that is disgusting. It was disgusting last year when they tried to set it up, and it's even more revolting thinking about it now. Oh my gosh. I got to move on from Shakur because I get very, very, riled up and frustrated thinking about him. Let's get on to something else because I'm through with that shit. Beautiful King, why is it that racist Riri can't sustain his own lifeline without the mentioning of the young King Devin Haney?
Well, because his entire career is smoke and mirrors. His entire career was smoke and mirrors. Nothing about this was real. I mean, he was nothing before Devin and Tank, and he is nothing after. His entire career, he's got more hype and hoopla in 1 year, the year of him cheating Devin until he got beat up by Rolly. He got more hype and hoopla at that time than he ever got in his entire career. Ever. He's never got no hype and hoopla like that. No one really cared about him. They claimed they did. They didn't. Because if they did, he'd have been on pay-per-view. His only pay-per-view fights are with Tank and Devin, and that's the reason why he cheated. I truly believe that if he would have fought Devin first and Devin would have beat him, then he would have cheated Tank. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. There was no way that that Oscar and they was gonna allow themselves to lose to the two top black guys. There's no way. One of those guys was going to get cheated. And if you lost to Devin, if you fought Devin, and let's say you fought Devin when you were supposed to, when you was Devin's mandatory, and Devin beat you unanimously, what they're going to say is, oh, don't mind, that was a boring fight. It was boring because he didn't get no knockouts and blah blah blah, or Devin held, or they'll say stuff like that. So then the fight with Gervonta would have happened, and I bet any amount of bread, anything. Now I know we'll never be able to collect on this. There's no way that he would have went into that fight clean. No way. There's no way he would win in clean, and there's no way he would have accepted 136. No way. And no, they would have fought at 140. And I think Tank's team would have been more inclined to do so had they watched Devin wash him. Right. They would have been more inclined, right? So fighting him at 140 would have been an easier pill to swallow. So I don't think that actually I think he would have came in overweight too. I think he would have came in 3 pounds overweight, and Tank being a better fighter with the power he has, and Ryan being washed by Devin, I truly believe he would have still fought him 3 pounds over. He would have made him pay more than the $600,000 that Devin made him pay. He probably would have had to pay like $1.5 million, $2 million. He would have to pay some serious bread. I think Tank would have made him pay bread, but he still would have fought him. And I'm not saying that Tank would have won or lost. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is Ryan would have cheated him. Yeah,
he would have taken the measure to do that.
Yes.
It's crazy that this man has literally no sustainability outside of, the framework of Devin Haney. It's parasitic, Beautiful King.
Yes. It's lame. That is a good word for it.
Yes, parasitic. That's exactly what it is. Okay, this lame has never ceased to fumble his intelligence and valor. And for that reason, and for knowing that is why he has to constantly, especially off of the back of this huge scandal, associate in some way, shape, or form his name, his identity with Devin. I've really seen something, because of course that's also predicated on the fact that he, his claim to being on pay-per-view, his claim to fame was via Tank Davis, and then of course via the Devin Haney situation. I've rarely seen something so pitiful and deplorable and, or let's say, hapless than what it is that I have been seeing of the handling of Ryan Garcia. Okay. Racist Riri shows a constant need and insatiable desire to remain in association with Devin, as I said. The nature of this is parasitic. Okay. And it's something that's impossible for anybody who considers themselves cognizant, to deny, because it's evident when you behold it for what it is. This man is incessantly finding all types of angles, all types of ways, making up all types of plots and creating modalities in which, or by which he assumes a level of access to relevancy, a level of access to general dialogue. He wants to maintain an access to attention, as much attention as possible, by saying Devin's name. During the week, you guys, he took to his Twitter. I came across something. I don't follow him, but I had seen a reply that Devin made to him. And the quote is from Ryan, read the following: "I wouldn't mind fighting Haney at the White House." And Devin replied to that, "Well, go ahead and go get back on your drug testing then." Right? And so that out of nowhere, here he is bringing up Devin. What you mean fighting Devin at the goddamn White House? You had an opportunity to fight him in October and you ducked. What you talking about? Didn't you just duck? Didn't you just tuck your tail? You could have been fighting him in a few months, coward. It's crazy work.
Exactly what happened. They've been talking about having some type of a MMA event in front of the White House, on the White House lawn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're on some weird stuff.
Yeah, so I think I heard somebody mention that, and Trump mentioned something like that. Is that what that was?
Yeah, some MMA thing on the White House lawn. And when they said that, that's when this weird dude was like, I wouldn't mind fighting Devin. It's like, bro, why Devin? Why not Tank?
Right. Why don't you rematch Rolly? Didn't he sit you on your ass?
Rolly beat the brakes off you, bro. Why not rematch Rolly?
Yeah. He the one that made you eat the canvas.
You picked the black guy on purpose.
Exactly. And isn't this man supposed to be taking a year off?
He's supposed to be injured.
And you're supposed to be injured. Didn't Oscar de la Redbottom say to the world, oh, Ryan's off tending to his mental health. He's got, he got the shoulder injury, his neck and his back and his toe. Everything hurt. He got a, he's getting his a new twat or something like that. He's getting snatched or something like that. He's getting his puss adjusted to be tighter. Yep. What is going on? Aren't you supposed to be taking care of your healing from your surgery?
The fake, which one? He had two fake ones. He had a hand fake surgery, and then he turned around. They said he had something wrong with his shoulder or elbow or something.
He out here getting a new asshole or something. Get out of my damn face. I hate to be so blunt, but I just gotta. I'm just so sick of this dude. It's ridiculous.
When you have the protection that he does,
right? You
can get away with a lot of things.
Diabolical work. This man vanished from view. We couldn't find him after that Rolly fight. Where we called him? Where's Ryan? He done disappeared after he went crying in the damn car, weeping like a damn Jezebel in the car. He went missing. Nobody could find him. Coming up missing. Where's Ryan, you guys? Now all of a sudden, you come out with your little picture showing your little surgery on your hand and stuff like that. And now you're talking about, just to remain,
relevant
in people's chatter. Exactly. Just to have some level of being at a forefront. Now you mentioned in Devin, just go, bro. You're supposed to be taking a year off, right? Go ahead and go take care of it.
Relevant. The beef that he's got with Oscar is because of this. It's because Oscar didn't want him to fight. Oscar didn't want him to fight Devin, and he didn't want to fight Devin either. So
Right.
he's got screwed out of a bunch of bread too, though. So
Wow.
that's why he's all pissed off at Oscar De La Hoya right
Yeah,
now.
I saw them. I saw the love quarrel that they had online with each other. That shit was like some role play. I don't believe none of y'all. Y'all was doing some role play.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all was just trying to get, that attention for a second. A lover's quarrel. That's all that was.
Basically.
You didn't buy Oscar some new fishnets, and they was upset, and so they went back and forth because he didn't give him the fishnets that he wanted. Get out my damn face. I don't care about y'all. Yes, I'm going ham because I don't give a damn. Now, let's talk really quickly, beautiful king, about I think you may have spoken about this on your own terms, but did you hear about the Lamont Roach saying that he wants the winner of Devin Haney and so forth and so on? That B. Norman Devin Haney winner.
Yeah, I definitely spoke about it, and my thing was more so, I don't mind you calling for the winner, bro. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
But you're delusional, homie. Like I don't mind it. I really don't. Like I'm not standing in the way of anybody. If this man wants to fight the winner of Daniel Dubois Usyk, I'm not standing in front. But you're delusional, homie. Like you're delusional, bro. Like you're delusional, and you think that because you put hands on Tank, or even if you win, you think that you're going to be able to translate, bro. You're not, bro. You're not beating Devin. You're not, bro. Brian Norman will hurt you, bro. He will hurt. You don't move. And the reason why I favor Devin to beat Brian is because of Devin's feet.
Right.
His feet. It's not his upper body skill set. Devin is skilled to death. He's one of the most elite fighters in all of boxing.
Yes.
Yeah, but the problem is this man, Brian, is an absolute killer, man. And all it takes is one punch, and he can knock your lights out forever. If Devin's feet is what's going to get him in and get him out.
That's right.
And that's why I have Devin winning. Bro, Lamont Roach don't got that, man. Lamont Roach is standing right there. He's standing right there, bro. You listen, bro, let's be honest with ourselves. Bro, you were picked to get knocked out. And you're more likely going to get knocked out in the rematch. You was picked. Now I want Tank to win, because the big fights is Tank and Shakur. Tank,
right?
Tank
exactly.
Big fights. So I want Tank to win, and I'm not saying that Lamont Roach can't win. I'm not saying he can't win, right? It's a dangerous fight for Tank because Lamont Roach got hella confidence right now. I think Tank fighting Pitbull Cruz would have been difficult for him in the rematch too, because Pitbull had hella confidence, right? So, but we got to be honest with ourselves, man. Like, Lamont Roach is the super underdog, and he's a super underdog to get knocked spark out. Tank Davis is not fighting Brian Norman, bro. He's not fighting no damn Brian Norman. And if you fought Brian Norman, man, Brian Norman would splatter Lamont Roach in 1 or 2 rounds. Lamont Roach is going to stand right there and try to roll the punches. That's fine. Roll it. Yeah. You can roll it until you don't roll. Yeah. And then you get caught clean like Tank caught you clean. You get caught clean. Brian Norman is a bigger puncher than Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't give a damn what Tank fans say. That he's a bigger puncher, bro. He's a bigger puncher. Brian Norman is knocking he's knocking 2 weeks off your life.
Damn.
Tank is not doing that. This dude, Jin Saki, still to this date does not remember the 2 weeks before the fight at all. He knocked the 2 weeks out of his life. Nobody is doing that like that. This dude, bro, Lamont Roach is delusional. He is 100% delusional. I understand you're riding high. If that's what you want to do, I'm not stepping in the way. I promise you I won't. You want to get in there with Devin or get in there with Brian? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not stepping in the way. And when you get knocked spark out, when this man knocks half your beard off your face, I don't want to hear nothing.
Exactly.
Don't wake up talking about somebody shaved you. I don't want to hear nothing. You gonna get sparked badly. But if that's what you want to do, like I said, go ahead.
Exactly. When I first heard the news, I was like, what? And I saw the clip. I'm like, what? Listen, okay. So the first thing that I thought about it was absolutely what you were saying. I'm like, I don't know, bro. You just came up from 130. You know what I'm saying? I think he had fought at at 35 or 40 at a particular point, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm like 147, you trying to step with Dev or B Norman? You know what I'm saying? Felt exactly the same way. And I still do. I definitely agree with that. And there's also the element within me. Yeah, facts. There's also the element within me. And he's tiny. He only like an inch taller than Tank. But
he's delusional.
The other aspect in me is like full of salutation for the gutsiness, because I'm like, damn, how is it that a 130-pounder that virtually nobody was looking for 6 months ago, how is it that he is on enough smoke time to call out the likes of Devin? And he just got here. And Tank and Shakur Stevenson are ducking and dodging smoke. Yeah. How was a 130-pounder that was the cherry pick going wrong? How was he stepping like this?
I don't know if I actually believe him, though, to be honest. And the reason why I say that is because when Shakur Stevenson first got to 135, he did the same thing. He called out Devin, he called out Tank, he called out Loma. Well, he didn't call out Loma, but he called out Tank and he called out Devin. He called out Loma later on. But when you had the opportunity to fight, you didn't. So I don't know if I believe Lamont Roach. Right. And I'm inclined to, because he turned down more money to fight his mandatory and took less money to fight Tank.
Yeah, to fight Tank.
Yeah, so I'm inclined to believe him. But then again, I got to see it to believe it. Because it's one thing to fight Tank with the mindset that you're going to get knocked out. So I'm just going to get, I'm going to go in there and dare to be great, because I'm going to get a bite at the apple, and then I can go right back down to 130 and fight for another bag, right? But if I fight this guy and I fight this guy, my mandatory, I'm going to get a bigger bag, right? But then I won't get that Tank fight. So now, which was smart. So he ended up getting 2 bags versus 1, because his mandatory is still there. So it didn't matter if he got knocked spark out by Tank, his mando was still there. So he was going to get a double bag regardless, right? So it was smart to take the Tank fight. The WBA allowed it, so you can move back down if you lose, right? And then you can fight your mandatory.
Yeah, hold on, beautiful king. Hold on. Curtis, I don't know who you talking about that is hating on GTD.
Curtis is bugging.
I don't know who you talking to.
He bugging.
What is hating on GTD when he brought up a 130-pounder instead of fighting Shakur Stevenson? Don't talk to me about hating, okay?
Yeah, Curtis be bugging. Curtis is a big time Tank fan. He knows Tank team and stuff like that.
Ain't hate. The facts are the facts, bro.
Yeah, facts are the facts.
You're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to hold that. Your boy skipped over the champions to go down to 130 and fight somebody that nobody was looking for, let alone asking for. That's a fact. That's not hate.
He more than likely will go back down. He more than likely will. If he loses to Tank, if he does, he more than likely will go back down. He'll more likely go back down if he loses, which is all good, right? But I just think he's delusional. I really think he's delusional. I think that Lamont is delusional. I think like it's warrior spirit, right? To go for the gusto and say I want the winner of Brian Norman. But let me tell you, this is why I think is delusional. I think it's delusional because how are you skipping 140? Bro, you're fighting at 35 right now. You do realize there is people that you could fight at 140. There is Gary.
A whole pool of people.
Bro, Gary Antoine is from the DMV, bro. You could fight Gary Antoine.
That's right.
You could fight Subriel Matisse. You could fight Teofimo Lopez. You could fight Richard Hitchens. There's a bunch of people you can fight at 140. Why are you skipping? Now, I understand Devin is the face of boxing. I get it. And that's why you want to go from Tank straight to Devin. I understand. regardless of what people say, the fighters know what's up. Fighters know, which is why he said he wants the winner of Brian Norman, Devin Haney, because Devin Haney is the face of boxing.
Right.
He's not stupid, bro. He skipped his mandatory to fight Tank Davis, and he'll skip the entire 140 division to fight Devin, right? So I totally get what he's doing, but I still look at him as delusional. But I totally get what he's doing. But he's delusional, very delusional. I think he gets sparked badly at 4. If he goes to 47 right after 35, he goes to 47, bro. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt.
It's definitely ballsy and gutsy, no matter how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? And even borderline delusional, you could use that word as well. I did appreciate, however, the fact that he was not refraining from the mentioning of the elites. You know what I'm saying? The elites, which is something that we cannot for the life of us get, who we consider to be elite at 35 to do. Yeah. It's crazy that he took the step to say what's up, even if he's just like, temperature checking, even if he's not necessarily trying to run and go follow through at this particular juncture. The fact that he is doing a temperature check is where I give the salutation to, because Cole was on a dead ass hit list, top 3. And he didn't even want to turn to the left to look at the fact or acknowledge the fact that he was on Dev's hit list. I was just blown away that the fact that Lamont Roaches, facts.
So it's not like this is something like new. No, he still hasn't. He's right at this very, very moment. He still has not addressed. He has not addressed that list. Still to this day, right now, at this addressing moment, everything else,
saying everything else except let's fight, saying everything else except I see you. Don't think that went over my head. He's not doing nothing. He's not acknowledging nothing. And it's crazy work that you got Lamont out here calling and sunning GTD, calling him little bruh, saying he too little. Diabolical work, the way Lamont Roach been stepping out here, as he should be. But why is he the only one on this type of time? He's the 130 pounder, right? Where the fuck is the heart from these other people that's calling themselves king of that division?
I tell you what, with all that talking, he better back it up.
Yes.
I think this is a very, very dangerous fight for both of these guys. But with all that talk he's doing, man, if he doesn't back it up, if he gets sparked out, what's going to end up happening is he's going to lose money when he goes back down to 130 in that rematch. He's going to lose bread. But I think he should stay, to be honest. I think he should stay at 35. I think there's going to be more money for him at 35 just because he got to draw with Tank. I think he should stay there.
Exactly. I think there's definitely a lot for him to gain at 35. You know what I'm saying? And, like you said, even if he wanted to go, tap into venturing into 140, there's a lot of smoke there, 1000% that he could, get to, because he's already amassed a level of credibility, of course, being a champion at 130, but even more than that, like you said, is the, controversy surrounding his fight, the initial fight with Tank Davis, and it's only going to grow the mystique around him, and that people being galvanized about him if he is successful, whenever that fight is supposed to take place. If he comes out the victor in that fight, he's got the world in his hands pretty much. He can ride with that. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. If he wins, oh my
crazy work.
Oh my goodness.
If he wins,
he loses, that's a whole different story. But him calling for the smoke, though, I rock with it. I do. I rock with it. I just think he's delusional.
Yeah.
I definitely rock with it.
Yeah, facts. Lastly, I wanted to touch on this because I think we would both be remiss to not discuss it with the family. This Devin Haney, speaking of Devin Haney and Brian Norman card announcement, as if that wasn't already enough to get us absolutely, salivating, right? Now we have gotten news about the card that is being put together and the fighters that are going to be featured on this card come November. How crazy is this card looking, beautiful King?
I love it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This November card is said to feature, of course, B Norm and Devin in November, but it's also being said that David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard,
Crazy.
as well as the young lion Abdullah Mason versus, I always forget how to say this man's
Sam Noakes.
Noakes. Yes. How crazy is that?
I it's the one thing, like I say, like Turkey is not perfect. He got his flaws and he be saying some dumbass shit. But the cards he's putting together, these cards is something serious.
Oh my goodness.
Like those three fights are headline fights.
Yes,
all three
exactly. All their own. All their own. And it's wonderful to see such a stacked entrance into, especially how we're going to end the year. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've had real big fights to end the year in quite a few years. Like we haven't really had those big fights to end the year with the way we used to. You know what I'm saying? So it's wonderful that we are going to be ending the year pretty much with a significant card like this. I think it's absolutely wonderful. When I heard that day, first of all, Benavidez is one of my damn top gunners. Let's just put that the hell out there. What? Benavidez forever. Forever.
Who's your favorite? Like your number one?
Okay, so that's very difficult for me. Well, at this moment, it's always been like a battle over the years, but at this moment, number one is Devin.
Okay.
Number one is definitely Devin. Benavidez is one of my damn top gunners. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Because he is
a damn dog.
But you know he turned down a shot at Arthur Beterbiev.
Yes, I do. I do recall that. Okay. But I still love Benavidez. I really do.
I do. He's in my pound for pound. I don't believe anybody beats him. You got to show me. I need to see it to believe it.
I need to see it. Exactly. I love his heart. I love his dedication. Obviously, he's an absolute warrior in that damn ring.
Facts.
Off the back of that whole Beterbiev thing, I would say that he ducked no smoke. But that little blemish that we have, to recollect on, when he bypassed that particular opportunity with Beterbiev.
I mean, it was him moving up, right? It was him moving up to 75. So I give grace.
I don't hold him to the fire too bad.
Yeah, I give grace, but I still call it for what it is. But I give grace to him.
Yeah, exactly. I can acknowledge it, but yeah, like you said, I don't really like flame him all the way for like.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm so 100%. Excited. I'm excited for him. I'm excited about him, and also I've been rocking with Anthony Yard for a number of years. I want to say at least 5 years.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Anthony Yard. Yeah, yes, I like Anthony Yard. I have liked him for quite some time. And so
I did not know that.
Yes, I'm a yardie. I like Yard.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I would have picked you, to be honest. I would have picked you if we're gonna go with like UK, I would pick you as like a Dubois fan.
No, that's the thing. I'm not really. I like Dubois. I like that he was able to kind of claim the crown from Joshua, even though I love me some Joshua. But Joshua and Wilder were like the only things that I gave a damn about in heavyweight division, But in seeing what he did to Joshua, I gave him his respect. You know what I'm saying? So for that reason, he has my respect. And just overall, I think he's a good fighter, even after coming off of the setbacks that he had previous to that in the earlier years or whatever.
Right.
I like Dubois, you know what I'm saying? But I step with Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard. He's vicious. He knows how to box. You know what I'm saying? He's very, stocky in stature, very, muscle or whatever. I know. I don't know if you remember Andre Ward was getting on him for all his his physique and stuff like that.
Yeah, he gasses though.
Yeah, he gasses. And that Kovalev fight, yo!
He was winning. God. He was about to stop Kovalev.
He was about to get him out of there.
But he just gassed. And he hurt Beterbiev too. He clipped Beterbiev.
He did. I think he got what it takes. He needs to work on that gas.
That's it. It's the muscles, though.
Yeah,
All
it
those
is.
muscles sort of gas you out over 12 rounds, man. If he's not doing a lot of road work, then he's got to get fighters out early, or by the 7th or 8th round is when he starts to
Yes.
work on them at that particular moment.
Yeah, exactly. He has to work on that stamina. You know what I'm saying? And another thing
What
that I
you know, a lot of muscle bound people used to do when they work a lot of them they got on drugs. There were certain
what?
drugs that they used back in the day, that they used back in the day to bypass because of their muscles, and they needed it wasn't clenbuterol and it wasn't nandrolone. It was something. It was one of those loans or alls or whatever
Oh,
that people used to in order, but they wasn't illegal back then, so people really wasn't knocking them. But they did that because of the muscles, and they realized that your those muscles require certain levels of oxygen. It's the reason why Joshua be gassing out certain times. He got to
yeah,
tip.
exactly. Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't
Uh,
think I'm not saying Yard is on no damn drugs now. I'm not saying
no,
that. I'm
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
throwing it out there. I think Anthony Yard versus this fight is this man Anthony Yard and Benavidez. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Somebody going to sleep.
Somebody definitely going to sleep. Period. No question about it.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
see this fight going a distance at
I
all.
did not see it going the distance at all. Didn't
Yeah,
even cross my mind.
yeah, someone is definitely going to sleep, and you would have to favor Yard going to sleep because of his gas tank.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and
I'm
I,
not
I
even
don't
gonna
I
catch.
don't want him to get knocked out. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. Me personally, I would love this fight to go to distance because I feel like Yard has been putting in so much work that he deserves to. If he doesn't win,
Yes, I feel the same
yeah,
way.
if he doesn't win, to at least go to distance. If he doesn't win, at least go to distance so he can say, I went all 12 with David Benavidez, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
But I don't see it, though. I
Oh
just
my God.
think,
I feel,
yeah, I just don't see it. I'll speak about it later, but I don't
I
see it.
totally agree. I literally couldn't agree more. Beautiful
Well,
King. I
but I
think that
can't believe you are Yardy, though.
I am a yardie, child. What I don't like is how Tunde didn't
Today,
really,
yeah,
yeah, he didn't allow for yard at least in earlier years. I'm not sure if they've made some adaptations and expounded upon their training methods, but I know that in those early years in the outset when he was just trying elevating a little bit and coming it more into the forefront a bit, that there had been, a statement made by Tunde that he didn't really allow for Yard to spar. And I know that that set the boxing world in a frenzy at that particular time. It's like, what? You don't have him spar? What you mean you are the one that spars him? Why aren't you getting spar partners in there for, him to practice, for him to sharpen the sword? So I would hope that, ever since he lost that Kovalev fight and people were getting a lot of criticism, people were throwing a lot of criticism at Tunde for that particular moment in the fight. I'm not sure if you recall, where he
yes,
told Yard to empty the gas and just go for it. And that's how he wanted
yes.
gas out and stuff like that. So right off of that particular moment, Tunde was also, in addition to getting, criticism for that decision that he made, he was also getting criticism. It resurfaced basically
Right.
about the things that he said about not having the sparring partner. So I'm hoping that, they have learned from that, because Yard definitely has the potential to, take that lightweight. And if he even want to go to heavyweight, he can do it. I really like his skills. I think he, had a lot of time at the Mayweather gym himself. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you think he's in the right weight class, though?
That's
I
a good
think you should move up.
question. That's a good question.
I really think you should go. I think him with those muscles, I think that is hindering him. But I think if he moves up a little bit, if he moves up in weight, what'll end up happening is he'll be
He'll
he'll be
have some natural
forced.
like fat. Yeah,
Yeah, he'll be forced to have some fat on there, right? So he'll
exactly.
be, and I think that'll allow him to be more
Fluid because his muscles
better.
won't be tight.
Yes, I think he'll be better. He'll be better
That's
at that.
a question.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a
he'll
really
be.
good question.
I think I feel like he should go to cruiserweight, because he's been at 75 all this time. It's not like he
All
started
this
at 58.
time.
Yeah, he's been at cruiser. I mean, 75 his entire career. So it's like going to cruiserweight. All these guys cut. They all cut. But if you go to
All of
cruiserweight, right, your cut is easier. And it's not your. I don't know. I just feel like there's really two fighters up there at cruiserweight right now. Bro, you could get the rematch with Kovalev. Kovalev's at cruiserweight.
Facts.
So I feel like him going up to that weight, I feel like that would be better for him. I really do. I really feel like that would be better for him to go to cruiserweight. But that's up to him.
It's definitely an interesting point. And of course I have been wondering as well, like, is that something that he would want to eventually, tap into, the moving up of weight? Because like you said, he's been here at 75 for, this entire period that, that he's been, that we've known him to fight. So interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he does. If he's going to ride his career 75, like, I mean, if you don't get a Bivol fight and a better BF fight and you just stay at 75, I feel like you're wasting your time, bro. If you're not going to get if you're not fighting Morrell next,
right,
something like that, then I feel like you're like, or even Calum Smith or Buatsi or something like that. Buatsi fight will be a big fight because that's a fight that will happen.
Hell yeah, that has buzz generating around it.
That would be a big fight.
Mm-hmm. That's a fight that's being called for the Buatsi. I've heard about that.
Yeah, I had buzz like last year, I think, or year before.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I think it was last year I had buzz. And
yeah.
In the UK, it's a different type of fan base, so they're going to rock with him anyway. But I feel like he should make a move. I feel like he's wasting too much time. If he can't get the fights that we want him in, then I feel like he should go to cruiserweight. I feel like it would be better for him. He's young too. I think he's like 30.
Yeah, I think he's like maybe
32.
Yeah, he's barely. I don't even think he's that. I think he's like 28 or something.
Is he?
Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
I thought he was like 31, 32.
I don't think he's in his 30s.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case,
I think I'm confusing him with somebody. You may be right. Hold on, let me check.
If that's the case, then he definitely should move up. If that's the case.
No, you're right, King. He's 33. 33.
Oh, he's 33. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking about somebody else.
Then he definitely should. Like, I feel like he's right smack dab in his prime or towards the end of his prime. And I feel like when you're getting to that right there, it's like, I mean, he's fought Kovalev and he's fought Beterbiev. Those are the two fights he fought in, right? Now he's about to fight Benavidez. It's like, okay, so if you're fighting, you got 3 names on your resume. But I feel like he should be, and he's in this is a title fight right now. He's fighting for the WBC and the WBA regular, right? So it's just a title fight. Exactly. But I don't know. I just feel like he should be in the mix for something. I feel like him at 75, a 200 is better. Because I feel like then he could get like Macabus, Badu Jacks,
yeah,
I feel like that style up there is better for him to get victories. I just don't feel like him fighting David Benavidez is a victory for him. If he beats David, oh my goodness.
If he beats Davis, that'll be wild work.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Bro. I can't even. If he beats David, that's crazy.
Crazy. I would be absolutely shocked.
You and me both. Because I damn sure don't see it.
Imagine that. What?
I damn sure don't see it at all. I think he's gonna get sparked, and I hope he doesn't. I hope it goes 12, but I
hope it does.
I really do think he's gonna get.
If I had to like bet the house on it, I can't say that I would bet that it goes 12. I would like it to. I totally agree with your perspective on that.
He's gonna get splattered. I think after 6 rounds, Benavidez is just gonna be punching on this man something savage.
Damn.
Something savage. I hope that's not the case, but I really
facts. Absolute facts.
I really think that's gonna be the case. And I feel like crap even talking about this.
Me
man.
too.
Gosh, I feel because I like Yard, man.
Me too. I rocks with Yard heavily.
I don't think I'm as big of a fan of Yard as you are, but I'm not a hater of him, man. I like Yard.
Yeah, he got that warrior spirit.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like Benavidez is gonna crush him, man. I feel like he's gonna walk this man down and just punch on him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh
this is gonna be
gosh.
pretty. Yeah, this is.
I
I think
appreciate
hey man, it could get shaky now. Real early, Yard is extremely good. Real early, he's explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah, early now. This is a thing, but
Yeah, it's those later rounds. And you know, Benavidez don't really gas like that. You know what I'm saying?
at
He's
all.
1,000 miles a minute.
His
He can
gas
keep that
tank
pace up.
is he is a Honda Civic with a big rig.
Literally.
But you know what? Let
Literally.
me ask you something though. While we're talking about the November card, what about this
Yeah.
weekend's card? What minus Shakur and Zapata? What is the fight on there? You got Alberto. To me, I think it's the Puello Matias, right? Right.
Yeah, Puello Matias.
But you also got David Morrell versus Imam. That Imam Katiev dude. That dude's a puncher.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Exactly.
So he's a puncher, man. Like, I don't like David Morrell coming off that that loss he just had, man. I'm not sure how David Morrell is going to react to that because this Imam dude, bro, he's been knocking everybody out, like everybody. And now it's not like he's fighting absolute great competition now because he's got like one dude on there on his resume, but he's still crushing people. Like he's still crushing people, and I don't know. I think this is like a setup fight, to be honest. Like either Morrell, you're gonna bounce back, right? You're gonna bounce back because you got like a 80-something% knockout ratio, and this Katiev dude got like a 90% knockout ratio, right?
Wow.
So you're either gonna bounce back or you're gonna get knocked out. You're either bounce back or you're gonna get bounced. So it's it's one of the two with Morrell, bro. You went from fighting Benavidez, who is not like a 90% knockout ratio. I want to say 90. David Benavidez is like the 60% something, bro, or 60 or 70, or no, 80. He's an 80. So he's an 80. He's 80. He's an 80 or 70. 80, I think. 80. I'm gonna say 80. I think he's an 80. Whatever. He's not 90s. Like this Katiev dude is a 90% knockout puncher. Yeah. So you went from fighting someone who
he's 80%.
80%? Okay, 80%. So you go from fighting somebody who is a 80% puncher to a dude who's a 90% puncher. I'm like, man, this is going to be a tough one. Queen, you had a bunch of super chats you missed.
You said super chats?
Yeah, you missed a bunch.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll get to those in a minute. I just want to touch upon this last aspect of the card, and then we'll round it up. And I promise I will get to the super chats, people. Thank you so much to everybody who donated and contributed to the channel and to the discussion. I appreciate the family for that. Thank you. Give me a few seconds, okay?
I really think that the fight on here that people are sleeping on is the Subriel Matisse Puello.
Yes, me too, King. Absolutely.
Because Subriel Matisse goes forward and he is an absolute puncher.
Facts. Big facts.
I feel like the fight with Liam Paro, he was getting ahead of himself. Right? He was getting ahead of himself. And I feel like that fight right there, the Liam Paro fight grounded him.
I was surprised at that outcome. I'm not even going to cap, beautiful King.
I was surprised too, but if you remember, it was in Puerto Rico.
Yes,
right?
It was.
It was a homecoming fight for him.
Yeah.
And the way he fought is not how he fights. He is a front foot fighter.
Exactly.
But this man was on the back foot. He was moving left and right lateral. I'm like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Paro was walking him down at times.
He really was.
I don't think if they rematched that it would be the same at all. And I don't think this fight with Puello is going to be the same at all. I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, but I think it's going to be, I think this fight right here is the fight where we are slipping and we're not looking at it for what it should be. I think the David Morrell Imam fight is going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I feel
someone's getting slept. And I think the Alberto Puello fight, Subriel Matisse, I think those two fights, I think David Morrell is going to be
I
the
think
most
those are
exciting.
hands down the best. They're going to be the best of the night for sure.
I think so. I think Morrell and Imam is going to be, someone's going to sleep badly, whether it's Morrell or Imam, but someone's going to sleep badly. And I think that Alberto Puello Subriel Matisse is going to be the best fight of the night. I think it's going to be the best one.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I can totally see that. 1000%. Because it definitely, it's definitely not going to be no damn Edward Berlanga, whatever the hell his name is. He's just boring to me. He doesn't really possess, a style that, wherewithal, I should say.
I think he looks too much. He looks too much for the knockout instead of letting the knockout.
He's exactly. He's always just, it's just a rushing in. It's just rushing in.
Yeah, I think that's
he has no finesse. He has no, it doesn't ever seem like he really is, has a tactical, viable battle plan. It's just going in there and rushing and just trying to get, as close as possible to whoever the hell he is so you can, get that one shot. I have no interest in that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's weird.
It's kind of weird, the style of it. And let me take that back. I'm not gonna say it what it is. It's when you say someone's doing too much. It's like, bro, you haven't proved anything, bro.
Exactly.
You haven't proved nothing for you to be acting how you're acting.
Exactly. That's exactly why. I put him up there with the damn dislike up there with I just can't take that. You haven't done a damn thing, a cotton picking thing.
Nothing.
To be out here huffing and puffing the way this man be huffing and puffing. It's crazy. What is upholding this ego, this sense of overly not aggressive, but the arrogant. It's weird to me. You haven't done shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him. He's sort of, I don't know, man. He's sort of like,
he's too tightly wound for me.
How can I want to say he rubs me the wrong way, but it's if I cared about him, he would annoy me. That's what I would say. He would annoy me if I cared about him, but I don't care about him. But when I speak about him, it's like, bro,
yeah, it's just like, who the hell, like, what are we really doing here?
Yes, when I speak about him, that's when
he doesn't have an existence in my mind when I think about boxing. That's how irrelevant he is. But then I look at an interview or come across something if I'm scrolling because he has a fight coming up, and let's say I pass it, and I'm reminded of why, of why he is irrelevant to me, or why I'm not really taking really too keenly to.
That's crazy for me too when I think about it, because you're from New York.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll be thinking to myself, like, damn, like the Queen don't even fuck with this dude, and he from New York too. She don't even rock with this dude
at all. And
it's like, man, I would think that she would rock with him just because he's a New Yorker, but nope.
Nah.
You don't rock with this dude.
He can miss me all the way with that. Nah. I don't really gravitate towards him like that. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I just didn't expect it. I'll put it that way. I'm not mad at it at all. Definitely not mad. Like I said, I didn't expect it. That was something that I would have thought. I don't know. I just would have thought that you would have been like, well, he's from New York, so I'm gonna ride with him. But
nah, I don't do that. I don't support foolishness. I don't care if you from. I'm saying I don't give a damn. I don't do I rock with the real.
Yeah, I'm definitely noticing. I definitely noticed this. Yeah.
So what do you think about that fight now? Like when you think about his fight with
Berlanga and Hamza?
Yeah.
I think Berlanga has the ability to win. Because I do believe he has some punching power, right? And if he hits you right, then he could be successful in some stuff. So I believe he believes in himself.
Yeah.
But I think he believes in himself a little too much because Hamza is a better boxer. Right. Hamza is a way better boxer.
I agree with that.
So I feel like if he tries to box with Hamza, he's going to get outboxed. And I feel like if he tries to box, he's going to get outboxed. And I don't even think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Hamza, because Hamza's just better boxer, bro. But the thing is, I think that last Carlos Adames fight with Hamza, I think they looked at that, and I think they got a false sense of security and comfort because of that. Adames was going for the gusto. I don't think, but Adames going for the gusto is one thing because Adames can actually box, right?
Yes, I like Adames. Absolutely.
Yeah,
he won that fight hands down to me. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he won that fight easy.
He absolutely won that fight. They robbed that man.
Yeah, in my opinion, he won that fight easy. But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like he's too full of himself. I think Berlanga's too. There's nothing wrong with having confidence, right?
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with confidence, but I feel like he's too full of himself, and he's going to put himself in a position where he might get knocked out himself, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah,
Hamza might sleep him. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go and just. I feel like he just does too much.
Yes, me too.
And if he focuses more, I feel like he could be better if he focused more. But I don't think he does. I don't think he'd be focused like that at all. He feels like, I don't know, bro. Like you've accomplished something, bro. You were never a champion. You've never you've never beaten a former champion,
never,
let alone a champion. But you act as if you're like some type of mega pay-per-view star, bro. But you're not. None of that.
Exactly. Like the only thing, like he only has a little bit of this buzz now because I guess of what he had done previously, maybe a few some years ago, or whatever. But he has not had any steam.
But his buzz is because he lost to Canelo Alvarez and he didn't get knocked out.
Yeah, that's his most recent buzz. Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the only buzz he got is because he didn't get knocked out. Like before that, he was looked at as the monster because he was knocking everybody out, but the people he was fighting was garbage.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like
he was supposed to knock him out.
Fight. Yeah, he had a little bit of buzz generated around him because of that in previous years.
Yeah, I just feel like homie is a little too big on himself. That's all.
Yes.
He's a little too big on himself. He should. Nothing wrong with being confident, but he's cocky with it when he's done. And I don't. And the crazy thing is, I don't even mind people being cocky.
Same here. You know what I'm saying? I like stuff like that. I like warrior time. I like that, but it's just like
do something to be cocky.
Yes, yes.
This man has done absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Cocky. So it's an annoyance of, bro, what the fuck is you doing, bro?
Right.
That'd be like me running around this motherfucker telling everybody I'm the greatest debater in the world and I've never debated anybody.
Never.
that right there, just like, bro, BF, sit the fuck down, dog.
Right. Exactly. And lastly, of course, what do you think about the young lion Abdullah Mason and his fight? Card.
I think Abdullah Mason he's in a how would I say this? He's in a position right now for success and failure. Mm-hmm. Now, let me explain. The success is clearly there. You're about to fight Sam Noakes. Yep. You're clearly the favorite. You should knock this man out and dominate, right? But then now you become a champion. As a champion, it's like you can't be just fighting just anybody anymore, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't expect him to fall back in the trap that Keyshawn did, right? I don't expect him to get, because he's got a good family support. He's got a good base. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. His brothers is always with him. His pops is always there. You know what I'm saying? So he's got a really good support. But there are fighters that are coming up. There are fighters that are there that he's like right in the window of the older fighters and the newer fighters, right? He's in the window of the Kamel Moultons. He's in the window of these guys, the Shamar Canals. He's in the window of them. So it's like where I say he's in that area of failure, it's like, okay, so by the time that these guys that are going to be calling you out get to you, you're going to be older.
Exactly.
So it's like now you're older, they're younger, and it's like that's what I'm talking about that window. It's not that he don't got the skill, because he's got ridiculous skill. I expect him to go in there and absolutely annihilate Sam Noakes.
Yeah, demolish him.
I expect him to stop Sam Noakes in 7-8 rounds max.
Same.
I'm talking max, and I don't even think it goes 7 or 8. I'm trying to give Sam Noakes the benefit of the doubt. I think it really goes 6 rounds. 6 rounds destroys him in 6. So I don't think it goes any farther than 6. But if it does, it does, right? If it does, it does. But I don't see it.
Yeah.
I just look at more at him being the OG to these younger fighters and having to deal with these younger guys in ways that these other guys right now don't. That's what I look at. That's why I say the failure part, because then he's going to be aged out, or not aged out, but just older. There'll be wear and tear on him that the other guys won't have. And how will he be able to handle that? So that's more so what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle. I haven't put him in that particular line of analysis because he is so young, and I'm dealing with him as a current youngin. But that's interesting.
It's crazy though. It's crazy when you saw him right in the what's the name, and the hotel at Devin's hotel, because that's where he was at.
No, I didn't see. He was there.
Yes, he was there.
Oh my
yes.
God!
I think you had went outside.
Are you serious?
I think you had went outside, because I want to say you was when you had came in, right? When you came in when me and Drew was in there.
Yeah.
I want to say we chilled there for a little bit, and then I want to say we did something, and I want to say you went outside, but he came in right around that time frame.
Oh my God! Damn! I missed the young lion.
Yeah, you definitely missed him, because he was definitely there. And another time when you was, remember when they put that little, was you there when they put the little gate up, that little gate thing up, because Devin was coming out, and they put the little gate up?
Me and Drew came after that.
Okay, but you came after Drew, but the gate was still up when you got there, though.
Yeah, it was still up when we got there.
He was there, still at that time. He didn't go nowhere till the gate went down, so he was there. Yes, he was there.
So
that whole
maybe
time
from the other side, because remember there was the room that we were in, and then further, and then there was that other room that where his other Devin's other people were.
Yeah, but no, so not there, not that. I'm talking about when the gate was up outside.
Oh, you mean outside?
Yes, outside. What were you there when they put up the gate, like they put up like a gate, like when you walk into the hotel, they put up like a little gate. Oh, I think you was there. You was there, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember a gate. I just remember me and Drew walking into the lobby to meet you. There was no
gate.
So
when you I could have swore you came back. I could have swore you came back.
Yeah, because when we were there. We didn't go back out again.
Then they had a gate up, like for people to, like they fenced off the sidewalk. You can walk around.
Yeah, the whole avenue was gated up at a particular point. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
If you was there when that was gated up, then he was there at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, if you was there when it was gated up,
right before they put that gate up and shut off the street. I came literally like maybe 15 minutes before they closed up that entire street.
Oh, then you was definitely there when he was there.
That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah, you was definitely there. Definitely. 100% you was there. If that was the case. And you didn't even get a chance to link up with, because he chilled with me in the lobby
Are
for a
you
minute.
serious?
Yeah, he chilled with me for a minute in the lobby. And
Damn.
then after that he went he went back upstairs, and then he came back down. And he walked outside, and bro, I'm surprised you didn't see him, because he was there. Matter of fact, damn, I'm trying to think.
That's
I know
wild.
you. Yeah, you just. I think you just. I think you just. I don't think
Maybe
you was
we
paying
just
attention.
passed each other or
I just
something
think
like
you probably either just passed him and didn't realize it was him or whatever, because he was just chilling. He didn't
that.
have
Wow.
no security guards. He didn't have nothing. He was just by himself. Actually, he wasn't by himself. He was with his two brothers, and he was just walking around, just chilling.
Damn. Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Yeah, that's crazy when I think about it. Because you
That's
did get a chance to chop it up with Derek Chisora, though, right?
well, I didn't chop it. I'm the one that told Drew that I spotted Derek, and he was like, "Where?" I was like, "Over there." And then Drew went over there to greet him.
Okay, but you didn't chop it up with him?
No, I didn't go. I didn't go to greet him.
Bro, he's like one of the most down to earth people you'll ever talk to.
Really?
Bro, he's like, it's you and him talking is like me and you talking.
Damn, that's
It's
dope.
just like that. It's just like that. He
That's
knows who I am, because when he first see me, he ran up on me.
he did.
Yes. Yeah, when he first, because I was standing, so Bill was on the phone, and I was standing like I was standing like maybe a couple feet away from Bill, and I seen him. He stepped out. He walked across the street and walked straight over to me.
Damn.
Straight over to me, man. He walked straight over to me, and he says he said, what did he say to me? He said something about, he called me a lion or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he called me a lion or something like that. And then, because I was on my live, he walked right over to me.
That is fire.
And then I said something to him, and he jumped on my live with me. It's like, man, like just like that. Like
That is dope. I love how he holds no punches. Like,
what's crazy is when people recognize me or know me that I don't think know me. That's what be crazy to me.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I can only imagine.
It really does. It really be crazy to me. But don't forget your super chats, Queen. Don't forget.
Okay, I'm gonna read my super chats. Okay. Let me shout out the family who showed support to the channel today. Definitely want to shout you guys out. Salute to the king, A1 Henry in the building. Thank you so much for your super chat. I definitely appreciate you. He says, salute Queen Sugar. Oh, I got that. Sakpase. Yes, I got you earlier. I remember that. Salute to the Glenn Mickens, who pulled up big time, big stepping in the super chat and doubled up with a 10-piece. Thank you very much for that. We got the King Freedom 10 toes on deck. I believe I got you earlier as well. My twin, the lovely Daryl Anderson, says, damn, been 6 months since the Queen been going live. Keep growing, Queen. Yes, King. I got that earlier as well. Salute to the king, A1 Henry, back in the super chat. He says he hasn't had that breakout fight or beef that catches fire. No major trash talk, controversy, or drama. And that stuff sells. And he's talking about, of course, Shakur Stevenson. I definitely agree with you on that. A1 doing it big back in the super chat. He says, if he beats Zepeda convincingly, especially by stoppage, it changes how fans view him and how the boxing world treats him. It could be the exact type of win that gets him headlining pay-per-views. Yes, I definitely, I mean, but at this, I mean, I'm 50-50 on that. Because of course it'll be good for him if he got something like the stoppage, of course, yes, but I don't know. I just find Zepeda to not even be worthy of that type of acclaim, real talk. But yes, it'll be great if he gets the stoppage. And would I like him to? Absolutely, 1000%. I'd like him to get that if that's possible. Salute to Hustler's Home in the super chat. He says, keep cooking, Queen. Salute to BFTB and the entire LDBC. Big facts. Oh, we got the brother, the king, David Tissane in the building with some love. He says, my opinion is Shakur dislikes Rolly. That's why. That's why he was favoring Ryan Garcia, King David. Okay, we got the King Bean Pro. No words necessary. He just dropped a super chat on you, girl. Thank you so much, Bean Pro. We got the King Freedom's March in the super chat. Again, he says, speaking as an electrician, a motorized shrinking ring is not practical. Too many component parts, and the motor would be massive, plus a bunch of tiny motors. I'm sure he's joking. He got to be joking, okay? He has to be. Salute to my beautiful sister, Cammie. Thank you, Cammie, for the love. She says, big love to my beautiful sis and amazing big brother. Big facts, beautiful sis. Oh, and salute to Bean Pro for becoming a member. Thank you so much. And thank you as well to Curtis, who says, keep up the Queen of Queens throne, sis. Okay, I'll take that. Queen of Queens. 10 toes on deck. I definitely appreciate the love and support. Gotta thank a huge thank you to the beautiful King BFTB for joining me in another conversation. I definitely love chopping it up on some boxing with you, King. Wonderful to hear your thoughts. Wonderful to be, of course, in your presence. And to have you in the building with me and the family today. And of course, I got to extend a huge, mega heartfelt shout out to the family, all the beautiful family who pulled up today. 10 toes on deck with me. Thank you to anyone who became a member today. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Definitely share the content. Subscribe to anybody in the building who is new to the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys. I try to do this every Sunday. All right, as we know, keep in touch with the King BFTB. You guys, a lot of the family in here are, you know, are very much aware of this King, come from this King's page and are on my page because of the beautiful King BFTB. So definitely check in with the God throughout the week, as we always do. We love to chop it up with BFTB every day of the week when he cooks crazy work on his channel. And definitely keep up with me in the community page as well. Check in with me to see if I post any other content throughout the week. Sometimes I like to drop little videos here and there, but definitely, you could definitely be assured that I will be back next Sunday for some more wonderful boxing talk. Who knows? Maybe the King will join me again. I don't know. I had it once and maybe I want some more. Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on, BF? I think that's the case.
We shall see, Queen.
We'll see. You never know. You'll never know when we link up again. But, peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you again. And I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful week ahead. All right. Peace and love to the family. Peace.